Welcome everybody to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Today on the show we have a special guest. We're going to be talking to Bears, more Bears, and more Bears. Also, we'll talk about what we thought about the NFL Combine this weekend. That and more on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Hey, Frank.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
These summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
Welcome everybody to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where we think we know everything, but we really don't know shit. As I said earlier, we're going to be talking about the Bears. We're going to be talking about the Combine. We have a special guest today as well. He will come on and he will tell us. He's a fellow Chicagoan. He would come on and he would tell us some of his thoughts that he thinks that's going on in the NFL and also about the Chicago Bears. See, I got my man Grogu today. We out here. Also, just got back from a flight a couple hours ago. Went to Arizona. Had a good time. Nice weather. Desert. Even down there in Arizona, they were sitting up there talking about what's going on with the Bears. Want to know what else is funny? According to some so-called experts, Justin Fields supposed to been traded already. He's supposed to have been traded. He's supposed to have had an idea where he was going to go to. It just goes to show you that even though all we hearing from the media is, the Bears are no doubt taking Caleb, which is fine if they're going to do it because I trust in Brian Poles. But Ryan Poles hasn't came out and said shit. Everything that's being said is speculation. So, are we so sure that they're trading? I mean, they did make a trade while we were asleep last night. They got an offensive lineman, Mr. Bates, from Buffalo. They spent one of their few draft picks that they had for the 2024 season. So that makes me think. We know that Ryan Poles, he really values his draft picks. So in trading one of those, that means that he's going to sit up there and he's going to trade back. So if he's going to trade back, is he going to trade that number 1? Or is he going to trade that number 9? Or maybe a 3rd round pick, or maybe one of those 4th round picks. We're going to talk about that as well. So without further ado, let me stop rambling and giving you my thoughts on things. Let me go ahead and bring in the Dream Team. First up is my man. They know all the stats from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. We call him the Stat Man, Mr. J. B.
What up, Al?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
Man, doing all right, man. Just trying to, besides dealing with this crazy Chicago weather, man, just dealing with these crazy owners and crazy media people, man. They don't know what's going on.
Hey, Justin Fields supposed to be traded by a non-player.
That's what you alluded to that, and I'm looking like, man, they were so sure that he was on his way to Atlanta,
Man,
Pittsburgh, or whatever. Man, he
Atlanta,
right here.
Pittsburgh.
Happy birthday, by the way, Justin Fields, March 5th. Happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, JF1.
QB1 tits to us still right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, I want to be transparent out here. We are not Caleb Williams haters.
No.
Because people sit up there and they like Justin Fields and believe that Justin Fields should still be the quarterback, doesn't mean that they are Caleb Williams haters, and vice versa. Just because people want, you know what I'm saying, Caleb Williams to be the quarterback doesn't mean that Justin Fields haters. You know, I think for the most part, people are Team Bears for the most part, but you know, you got this whole Civil War thing going on, and everybody keeps going on. Like, if you like Caleb, then you can't like Justin Fields, and if you like Justin Fields, you can't like Caleb Williams. No, that's not here. That's not how we do things over here at the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. We like Caleb Williams. We like Justin Fields. Just majority of us over here believe that we should stick with QB1, which is JF1. That's all. That's all it is.
That's all it is. And we want what's best for the Bears at all time. And we tired of resetting the clock. We tired of resetting the market. We tired of just not getting the obvious position of need. We tired of not developing quarterbacks. We just tired of ineptitude from the front office. Like,
oh, no doubt. I mean, you know what? One thing that I will say, Pose has done a lot better than majority of the GMs that we've ever had here in Chicago. So I trust Pose. I trust that he'll do the best that he can, and he'll do something that's going to set us up for the future and beyond. I also think that when it comes down to Ryan Pose, nobody has a fucking clue about what he's going to do. So that goes for you, all you national meters. What's their names? Parkins and Spiegels. Looks like fucking nerds.
Strzok and all them people.
Oh, Adam Strzok, Adam Hogue.
Adam Hogue. I like Lawrence Holmes, though. He keep it real.
Yeah, I like Lawrence Holmes. I like Bernstein.
I like Bernstein.
What's their name? Carmen and
Yurko. Carmen, Yurko. Waddle and Sylvie.
Waddle and Sylvie. You know, everybody that sits up there.
Crap and Hoodie.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, let's not even talk about Mr. He's a coward, but then he comes back and says something. Well, I didn't call him a coward. I just said what he did was a coward. Motherfucker, you calling him a coward. You try to walk this shit back all the fuck you want. You call him a fucking coward.
Right. Like, what are we talking about, man?
Right. So let's go ahead and bring in the other member of our dream team. He's a tank, but you all know him as Frank. Frank the Tank.
What up,
Frankie? You sitting on there with you're getting the sleep out your eyes, brother?
Hey, those late nights can get you sometimes, man.
Hey.
And I hear you with all these social media people. Just, you know, they're just mesmerized by thinking that we possibly have the opportunity to draft the next greatest of all time. You know, the next Patrick Mahomes. Everyone is just thinking this guy is so
I hate when people say
incredible. And it was just like, you don't know that, people, because college is college. And I'm not dissing anything about college, but you are not playing the same people that you were playing in the NFL.
That's true.
You know what's cringeworthy, fellas? I can put all of us back in a time machine. Nobody that's speaking of Caleb looking like Patrick Mahomes right now or being the next Patrick Mahomes even gave Patrick Mahomes the nod in his own draft class. That's what I'm saying. Is the hypocrisy is at an all-time high. Some of us know talent. Some of us can see talent. Some of us can say, oh, I don't know about this guy, that guy. And there's always surprises like a Brock Purdy, you know. But to sit up there and just say this guy is Patrick Mahomes, hell, it wasn't. But 10 years ago, if somebody played like Patrick Mahomes, they'd be like, Coach, want to talk to you, man. Come over here and sit on the bench. So let's not play that game, and let's not put that pressure on this kid. He is Caleb Williams. He is not Patrick Mahomes. He has not taken even one snap to even say he looks like Patrick Mahomes.
Before we get to it, I just want to know. Hey, Nate, I see you in the background. You good? You ready? All right, if we want to introduce our guest, File.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right. So we have a former NFL player coming on. He is a resident of Chicago. Without further ado, we would like to invite and come on Mr. Nate Turner.
What's going on, fellas?
Hey, I was
What's happening?
All right, 100.
How you feeling, bro?
I'm blessed, man. Just trying to help these kids as much as I can and give back to this game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That's what it's about. We thank you.
We commend you for that, brother.
Yeah. So what I missed out on? Where y'all at? Y'all talking about Caleb and them?
Oh God, man!
Before we get into that, we want to get into you.
Hold on. We are, but we're gonna dive in there a little later, man. We want to talk about you right now, though.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
What you been up to?
Some of us remember you on Bills, man. You know, we remember.
Yeah. I'm old, man. But life is good, man. I've been I went to Mount Carmel.
Right.
And we started the we were at the Chosen Few last year, and Donovan McNabb showed up. So we talking, and then I asked him, I said, yo, man, who was a black dude from Carmel that came back to talk to you? He was like, you. I was like, that was, and then that, so now I thought about it, I was like, nobody came and talked to me. You know what I mean? So we put together this 6410 black alumni. So we trying to, give back to the kids at the school and doing a mentorship program, and and the school is kicking ass, man. I mean, they got a chance to win state in basketball. They won state in wrestling and football, and trust me, baseball gonna be crazy too. So it's a good school, man. Just like I tell people all the time. I played in the glory days of Nebraska. And then, with Buffalo and, Carolina, and played in a couple of them Super Bowls with Buffalo. Right. But come back to Chicago, like Nate Turner, Mount Carmel, that's all they talk about. They don't ask about the Super Bowls or nothing, So it's an opportunity for these kids, to get their diploma from Mount Carmel and be part of the fraternity.
Love to hear that. Love to hear that for sure. For sure. What geared you towards the old Nebraska? That would be the Big Eight, right? Tom Osborne, Tommy Frazier, and them boys, Mike Rozier. What made you pick Nebraska? Besides the position, because they were running back you for a while, But what made you pick Nebraska?
So when I came out of Mount Carmel, I was the number one receiver in America. Mm-hmm. So it was a bidding war, man. To tell you the truth, man. They had the best bag. Now they got NIL. Back when I played, it was you got money under the table, and that's just how it worked. Right. So, yeah, they had a nice bag. So there I went.
What you mean by bag? They don't pay players. They don't do things like that.
Hey.
No, they just reset the clocks nowadays.
Hey, I took a pay cut going to the NFL.
I like that.
That's the love of the game right there.
Right, exactly.
Thanks. But we are recruiting, and that's what's killed us. We used to have kids from California, Florida, Arizona, Louisiana, Texas. Once they move to the Big Ten, it kind of shortens your family from being able. If you're a Florida kid, you're never gonna see your family. And it's not we played all over, and we had a plethora of different people from all over the country. And if you don't live in Big Ten area, there's no need to even go there, because your family's not going to be, well, now with the NIL, you can fly them around, but you wouldn't be able to, your family be able to visit you and see you all the time.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So how was that experience, moving from Chicago to the cornfield, basically?
Oh, it was culture shock, man. Culture shock.
I bet it was.
I'm a South Side boy, man, and I'm used to sirens and loud stuff, and man, you don't hear nothing. It's like you can't. It's hard to sleep because
Cock-a-doodle-doo shit.
there's no noise.
There's no noise. Okay, right. Because we used to the noise, and that kind of puts us to sleep sometimes.
Exactly. The
Did you
siren.
did you run
I
into
live.
Jeepers Creepers out there?
Yeah, man. You know what, man? We used to go cow tipping. People won't believe it.
Oh man, that's a story to tell.
It's scary, and the thing is people like so in the dark of night. You know what I mean? So the crazy thing is it's not dark because the stars are like lights. That's how
Okay.
Nebraska is. It's no they call it light pollution. Like in Chicago, it's light pollution because all the lights. So you don't really the stars you do see are really bright. But in Nebraska, you can see it's like you can see every freaking star at night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're out in the cornfield, and you know you've been had a couple drinks, and now it's time to go cow tipping. So now the whole trick of it is you don't know if there's a bull in there or not. That's the
Okay.
trick. That's the trick. So yeah, right. So every now and then you hear that deep. You guys, it's time to pick them up, put them down.
I mean, so it's obvious that you played for the Buffalo Bills. So how was your time there in Buffalo? Because you know, you went from Chicago, Mount Carmel, to Nebraska,
Right.
to cold ass Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo was crazy. But you know the one thing that in my legacy of football, I got an opportunity to play for 3 Hall of Fame coaches in my career. You know, I played for Frank Linty, and then for Tom Osborne, and then Marv Levy. You know, it's just you know, playing for those guys, man, you just learn a lot just from standing around. You know what I mean? Just from being there. You know, especially Tom Osborne because you know I played as a freshman, so that's back when they used to shuttle in receivers. That's how I used to run the plays in. So I would hear the whole game plan and what he's thinking, and you know the whole thing. So you learn a lot.
Yeah, and, you
From a
know,
legend.
many people don't realize that or know that Marv Levy is actually from Chicago. So
Yeah, he
Yep.
graduated South Shore.
yeah.
Yeah, South
So
Side.
so like are there teams in the NFL that you particularly, I know you're from Chicago, so do you follow the Bears? Do you still a fan of Buffalo? Who's
I'm
your
a
team?
Buffalo fan. You got to stick with the money, man. So you know they my checks come through them, so therefore I back my employer.
Ain't nobody mad about that.
Hey,
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
hey, gotta do
Plus
what you gotta do.
The Bears are so crazy, man. It's just the craziest thing.
You know what?
They produce a lot of drinkers.
Would say it
I don't
again?
They
even
make
know
me
if you
drink
ready
too
to get
much,
into that
man.
yet.
Yeah. You know the thing is that you can see like a kid with potential, like a Fields comes in, and you know knowing the game like I know the game. You know you got if you get a couple years of bad habits, those habits are hard to break, man. It takes
Absolutely.
what they say. It takes 10,000 reps to break a bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, he get happy feet, and he's seeing ghosts and all types of stuff. So and that's tough, man. It's tough for the kid. He in a tough position.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Chicago of all positions.
Right.
In Chicago. It's just
Yeah, I
everyone
mean, but
says
everybody loves him here. They love him,
Yeah.
but I mean, his record is what 10-30 something, something like that. I mean, you got to win at some point.
10-28, but not all his fault. Not all his fault.
No.
honestly,
But
I mean
he's
he
the
needed
face.
development, but I mean at the same time, like who is there to develop him? Like I just
Exactly. Everybody who's doing well. You look at Jordan Love. He sat under the tutelage of Aaron.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then Aaron sat under the tutelage of Farr. Like I mean
Right. And then Patrick sat under the tutelage of
Alex Smith. Yeah.
Alex Smith. You know what I mean? So you got guys
good
that
veteran players.
and learn the game, and then you just stick this kid out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he followed Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
I guess
So-
we can say Andy Dalton for 2-3 games.
Yeah, but not really, because
Not really.
and the thing is like I think the problem with the league now is that these kids make so much money, man, that they don't listen to nobody. It's like I played with Daryl Talley. You heard of Daryl Talley before,
No.
right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hard hitting linebacker. Yeah.
Daryl Talley will beat your ass. You got out of line. Period. Like
I like to
seriously.
hear that. Old school.
Like for like a big brother. He pull you,
Mhm.
look, man, and grab you by your collar. And and you see, they put their team in Vegas and you give these kids some money, then you in the y'all been in the casino, they pump oxygen in the casino, so you drinking, having a good time. And then once you step outside, the alcohol hits you, and then he hops in the car and does what he does, you know what I mean? But in a veteran situation with some winners, they'd have pulled him to the side and be like, "This is how we do things here." Like that's how Buffalo was. You get talked to. They tell you how it works. They show you the ropes, and this is how we do things as a bill, and that and that leadership led us to 4 Super Bowls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
4 straight.
when you don't have that leadership, man, you have wild stuff happening. You got guys, off the chain. You know what I mean?
I want to touch on that just for a little bit because we all know the you mentioned Daryl Talley. We know about Cornelius Bennett, aka Biscuit. We know about obviously we know about the great Bruce Smith, right? But let's
Right.
look from the other side of the ball, and I want to get your thought process of why the Bears are not going in that type of direction, right? Jim Kelly, Andre Reed, James Lawton, Keith McKellar, Pete Metzelaar, Thurman Thomas. I think his name was Davis, like Kenneth Davis, like Kenny Davis. Yourself, like you all had a super team, like really did. And that's not to mention the line because y'all just came off of having one of the greatest lines in the electric company in NFL history.
Right.
Why are we not in 40 years? And I say 40 years because everything stopped since 85 for the Bears, of course.
Right.
And we've started over, right?
We've had some sparks, but
never
not
that
consistent sparks.
Never that conglomerate of talent.
Yeah.
Like, what is the problem? Like, are we cursed in your opinion, Nate? Being from here, you see it.
No,
Just like
let me tell you what the draw is. This the draw.
Please.
The owner of the
There it is.
of the
We knew
Bills
it was
now is there, Ralph Wilson. Ralph Wilson, he owns the patent to the sliding glass door. He come in on a helicopter. How y'all doing? Everything good? All right, see you later. Boom, he fly off. Trust me. The what's the family name again?
McCaskey.
The McCaskies, their major business and where they make their money is with the Bills.
Yeah.
And so therefore, if it's not your toy, you're gonna really watch over it. You're gonna, the whole bottom line and raise beer sales and da 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 da. And they've done that. Who were the two players in '85 that didn't get to play with them? Remember, because it was a contract dispute.
Our linebacker.
No,
in '85, actually. Hold on.
It was the Super Bowl year. They didn't play.
It was a safety and a DB because that's how Dave Durson ended up. Tyrone Bell, I think his name was, and then
Todd Bell.
Todd Bell, and then it was
another guy.
It was another
defensive player.
Was it Tyrone Keys?
No, but anyway, they once that happened, I was like, man,
they sat out. They held out.
Yeah, but they should have got paid, man, because they should just give them the money.
Because who did we lose off of the '85 Bears after the Super Bowl? Was it like
Wilbur Marshall?
Wilbur Marshall.
Hell,
and Buddy.
And he goes and wins a Super Bowl. The next team he goes to.
You let Wilbur Marshall go.
You let Buddy Ryan go too. Like what?
Buddy Ryan? Well, they were fighting.
Well, Buddy Ryan was getting a head coaching job. That's why. Buddy Ryan was gone.
I would have tried to keep him another year.
I would have done anything.
The 46 was done though. The Miami Dolphins, when they beat the Bears that year, was the blueprint for '86. Them getting their ass kicked a lot because people start throwing it around. It's a way to beat that 46ness with really throwing the ball. And once that blueprint was out there, it was that Buddy Ryan stuff was over with.
Yeah, well, another thing that happened too, if I'm not mistaken, Jim McMahon got hurt that next year too, right?
Yeah, that too.
That's when slammed him on his
Green Bay.
No, the dirtiest hit that I've ever seen, honestly.
Yeah.
Thanks
He had
for
the
the
hit list.
Harris. We knew it was Todd
He had the hit
Harris.
list.
Al, was that
He had
Al
the hit
Harris?
list. He had the hit list.
Yeah, had
Yeah.
the fucking hit list.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Right.
Like, what type of wild shit is that? You got
That's messed
a
up.
Right.
fucking hit
Right.
list. Oh my God.
But
And
it's
look,
like,
and Ward the hit list on the field, on his towel.
Yeah, I know.
Right,
Like,
on his time. I remember,
God
like,
damn.
checking them off, like, got you.
Right.
And it's funny because when you're bringing up like the owners and everything, we always joke around about this, even though we are serious about it. But we always say it was like you have our lovely owner, McCaskey, 100. She just hit 101, didn't she?
She's been to every Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think she's 101, if I'm not mistaken.
She's been to every Super Bowl.
But you are pretty much a part of like a football god family and everything, and you marry a nerd. And then you bring in all your children who are all a bunch of nerds who know nothing about the game of football. And I felt like ever since that, it's just been a downhill. We're bringing in people just to make money, not taking care of the people that they should be paid, not bringing in the right people.
And then you actually have to look at and this would be strange to y'all, the racial aspect of it, because I don't care if you're 90 years old, you're racist, whether you black or white, regardless of color, you're gonna be racist. But you know what I'm saying? Regardless
because of the time you grew up in.
Because of what you grew up in.
Yeah.
Somebody 95 years old, they couldn't drink in the same water fountain, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So just look how old she is, man. She need to give it up, man, because she's still pulling strings, and that's the crazy part.
I think she doesn't want to give it to her kids because they don't know anything about the damn game of football.
Right, that too.
But this is so telling because you have other teams, like you mentioned, this is their actual business. This is the way they make their money. All from the inception of Papa Bear, right?
Right.
But you look at other franchises, whether it's a toy or not, those teams actually care about winning.
Yeah.
It pains me that we, as a charter franchise, have been to as many Super Bowls as the Carolina Panthers. Like, that is troublesome to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's
embarrassing.
It starts at the top. The coaching is just, you think that, and not to talk bad about, so now they hired now it's good for women getting into the NFL and doing stuff, but we need some coaches. They hired a woman coach. We need some coaches, man.
Hey, as long as this woman coach is panned out and she knows what she's talking about, I'm fine with it. But yeah, we need to find the right people. I don't care what color they are, what gender they are. I don't care.
I don't either. But check this out. She was in Washington last year, and she left Washington, so she's not that good.
And she's running backs coach,
only
right?
time would say.
I don't think they really had a good running back game over there.
Right. They never good anything.
Yeah.
So Nate, I wanted to know. So, give us your opinion. What do you think people outside of Chicago think of Justin Fields? I know the national media, they all over the place, but I'm talking about more so like
Chicago loves him. And look, man, I played with Jim Kelly, man. I know what a quarterback look like. I know what it smell like. The thing is that I played with Frank Reich, man. He's a great athlete. I don't know if he's a great quarterback.
And tell me why you think that.
And I think that's because he didn't get the tutelage he got, because the college systems are made to win in their situations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's going to be running and doing whatever, and everybody up in the box, and guys going to be running wide open. You know what I mean? So college is a little different. In the pros, you gotta know how to play the game from the neck up, and sometimes that takes time to learn.
And we agree with that,
but outside of, I think people really think he's and I heard this a couple times. What's the kid for the past couple years that played for New Orleans? What's his name? The quarterback.
Oh yeah, I hate it when people. I know what you're talking about.
The
one who is like, he plays tight end, he plays wide receiver.
That's what I said. Taysom Hill.
Yeah,
people compare him to Justin Fields just makes me sick.
You know what? But he's a great athlete, and he would.
He is.
he would be that type of guy. But you still got to get a quarterback.
But Nate, hold on. Taysom Hill, great athlete, gadget player, right? Cool. Justin did have 41 touchdowns to only 3 interceptions. He was always known as a pocket passer, whether he had a great line, great receivers, whatever. Everybody does better when you have greatness around you. That's just what happens, right?
Right.
But the problem is when you bring in a rookie play caller that's never called the plays before, never even been in position. When you have and was Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you. That's what I was waiting for. He was Aaron Rodgers' shoe tire.
You know what I'm saying? And then you have Andrew Janocko come in, who's a quarterback's coach, but he was like Kirk Cousins' gopher. Like, how was Justin supposed to develop on this level with those guys who don't even know what they're doing?
Listen, regardless of that, he didn't develop. You see what I'm saying? It's not his fault.
But that the media will spin it like, oh, he just don't have it.
No, I wouldn't say he don't have it. I'd say, but like I said before, he got a whole lot of bad habits he's developed. And it's going to take some time to get rid of those bad habits. Will it take a year? I don't know. I mean, once you start seeing ghosts, man, it's tough, man.
It does.
He might, there's a possibility he might be ruined.
In year 3, you think so already?
Look. We've look what we've seen. I mean, he can run. He can run the hell out the ball. He can run the hell out the ball.
But don't you think that's kind of like in defense? Like, he can run the ball because he kind of has to. He's never been a running quarterback in high school or in college.
No, he's running because he's running for his life. Because those aren't. It's not like with Cam Newton when you got a designed ass run. He dropping back and then he's scrambling. He's just playing street ball. And he's running.
Then they say, "Oh, the Bears got a great running game." Your quarterback got 1,200 of those rushing yards. Like, what are you talking about?
Right, and those 1,200 come off broken pass plays. You know what I mean? For the most part.
You say you speaking the gospel, Nate. I appreciate it because we sitting up here wondering, like, is it us? Are we the only one to see the forest for the trees? What's really going on here?
Yeah,
it's just bad. It's like the kid was put in a bad situation. And then he's gonna continue to develop. It's like a lady having a baby and she's fucking smoking, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be problems, man. Complications, man.
Yeah. And that's
not the
one thing that
baby's
we've been
fault.
saying.
It's not the baby's fault your mom was smoking rocks.
Yeah.
Right.
We've been talking about that. We stood up there and said we've seen Justin, like, now what they want to do is they want to bring in, and as we said before, we're not Caleb Williams haters or anything like that. I believe that Caleb Williams does have great attributes. I think he can spin the fuck out of the ball. He's got a quick release. But now what you've been doing here in Chicago is that going back to John Fox. John Fox was on the hot seat his last year in Chicago.
Not that easy.
They sit up there. He wanted to get a guy that just got released in Jamal Adams, that's just recently released by Seattle. He wanted Jamal Adams. The Bears went and drafted Mitchell Trubisky.
Right.
Trubisky got in.
They traded up to get
traded up to get Mitchell Trubisky.
The draft that had Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes.
They'd have ruined Patrick and they'd have ruined them. They'd have ruined
thank you, because a lot of people think that Patrick Mahomes would have came here and
would not be the same person.
Well, I'll say this. Nagy may not have ruined him completely.
No, honestly, I think Fields would have been better off with Nagy, as sad as it sounds. I really do.
Fields, I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes, because he did have 1 year, but Alex Smith and Matt Nagy both had that time, because remember when Patrick Mahomes took over, Nagy was our coach.
Right.
That was 2018, so he didn't have direct development. That was all Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy.
Right.
So I can't say, but just Patrick's natural way of playing quarterback, he would have had some oohs and ahs, but he wouldn't have thrown for no 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns his rookie his first year. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Not with that offensive line.
No.
Correct.
No.
He's been running for his life too.
And that goes back to some of the things that we've been talking about. Like you bring in John Fox on the hot seat. You go draft Mitchell Trubisky. They have a bad season. John Fox out of there. You bring in Matt Nagy. Now, Matt Nagy didn't draft the guy.
Foul, you missed one. Go back. They also gave him Mike Glennon, who he didn't want.
Yeah. They gave him Mike Glennon. Yeah,
Mike
before
Glennon.
they drafted Mitch Trubisky.
Long neck Mike Glennon.
Big ass
Ostrich. Giraffe.
Yeah. So you get him, you sit up there, you fire John Fox. They bring in Matt Nagy, who wasn't drafted, who did not draft Mitchell Trubisky. He sits up there, he tries to develop Mitchell Trubisky. That doesn't work. So now Matt Nagy, his last year, he ends up fucking losing. But they sit up there and they had drafted Justin Fields. They draft Justin Fields, Matt Nagy loses. Out with Matt Nagy, in comes Matt Eberflus. Now Matt Eberflus is in there. Now, this year, Matt Eberflus is on the hot seat. If they sit up there and they draft Cam, guess what? And he doesn't win.
Look, any football team without an offensive line, without a defensive line is garbage.
Yeah. Amen.
Because you can't listen. You could take if you gotta just take Emmitt Smith for instance. I mean, in my opinion, Emmitt Smith is extremely average. But
you know what? We always say that he is not in my GOAT conversations ever. He's not even in my top 5 running backs.
Listen, he had the best offensive line ever for 10 years.
Absolutely.
There was games he didn't get tackled. He only got tackled by the secondary. Like defensive linemen and linebackers don't touch Emmitt Smith. So you got to have an offensive line. You got to trust me. I saw that up close when we played them cats. It don't matter. When they decide to run the ball, they about to run the ball. There's nothing you can do about it.
Nate Newton and Larry Allen and the boys.
Right.
Like,
Larry Allen. Right.
Right. Yeah, it's hard to get. It's hard to penetrate on those guys. And that's what we were sitting up there saying. So
right. They were talking about Troy Aikman too. Troy Aikman never made a damn he was never all pro. Did you ever hear that? I heard that the other day.
He never threw for 4,000 yards either. Neither did Joe Montana.
Never.
Right.
And this is one thing I always said too, Nate. And it's pretty much going back with Justin Fields and everything. But Justin Fields coming out of college had such a beautiful deep ball. He still does. He still does have a beautiful deep ball. He has a strong arm.
He doesn't have time to throw it.
His biggest thing where he thrived in at Ohio State was slant plays.
Right.
The Bears called 19 total slant plays last year. 19. Well, and to make matters even worse,
show it.
This was our offensive scheme.
We called 17 screens in one game.
17 in one game. We called 2 games where we did 3 of the same exact screenplays back to back to back.
Well, that's
I just don't get the
like I said, the coaching is really subpar.
I think you're being nice by saying subpar. I think it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. And I'll say it for you.
Yeah.
But I just wonder.
JB, maybe you were talking about this too. It's like when he does call a pass play, this is his pass designs. Patrick Mahomes can't complete those passes. I don't get it.
You know who's in the yellow, Nate?
Yeah, your fullback is in the yellow. You're in the yellow, out deep, going and
that's you. That's the fullback Kari Blasingame on that Jerry Rice route at the bottom of the screen. That's crazy.
Well, the issue with the whole scheme is the scheme is bad because the offensive line is bad. So you got to do whatever the fuck you can. And screens, check this out. The offensive line is letting people run past them anyway. So on the screen, you got to let the offensive line run past the defensive line run past you.
True.
So that plays into the Bears' hands when you play it that way because that's what they do best. But everybody knows it's coming.
That's what I'm saying. They know there's no parity. There's
none. Right. You know what else I find fascinating, Nate? That I hear a lot of people sit up there and say, as Frank was alluding to earlier, that the Bears, they only call those many screenplays because of the quarterback.
Yeah, because they don't.
And I've went on and I've told people, like, you do realize that in the preseason, Justin Fields had a game where he threw 2 screen passes, and they both went for fucking touchdowns.
Right.
Like, literally, like 3 out of the 4 plays were fucking screen passes. 2 of them went for fucking touchdowns. Yeah. So they were doing this shit back in the fucking preseason before the fucking season even started, and then people sitting up there talking about, it's because of the player his IQ. That's the reason why the offensive coordinator keeps calling fucking screen passes. No, that's just what the fuck he likes to do.
Yeah, no, that's just bad calls, and his IQ, that doesn't have anything to do with it. When the offensive line is not blocking, quarterbacks get twitchy and get cappy feet and that ruins you in your mind. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes would have 3 Super Bowls if he had his complete line against that Tampa Bay game.
100%, 100%.
Line matters.
Shit, he already got 3.
We do have one question.
I'm sorry, he'd have 4. My bad. He'd have 4.
We do have one question that popped in the chat, and I want everyone's opinion on this. We talked about it briefly throughout the last few weeks or so, but I mean, I guess we're really just saying, like, what do you think about the offensive coordinator that they brought in? I know some people aren't a fan. I like it. I think it's obviously better than what we have. And I only say that because, and I know, JB, you always question me because of who they had in Seattle, which you're right. You're 100% right on that one. But Waldron did come in and make Geno Smith, who was supposed to be picked as the next, like, bust quarterback, to a runner-up MVP candidate. But, yes, he did have great weapons around him.
And an awesome offensive line.
Yeah, Seattle always had a pretty solid offensive line.
And they were running the ball decent, too.
Yeah.
They
Like
had
a very good balanced game.
If you can't run the ball, anything play action don't work. Nothing works. Nothing works.
That's very true. Yeah, like you said, you can't run the ball.
So
you can't run the ball, huh?
Here's the thing for you, Nate.
Yep.
With that being said, Seattle did pretty well. 4,200 yards passing. Another like 1,600 yards combined rushing. I think Kenneth Walker had like 11 or 1,200. Geno threw for 30 touchdowns. We know the people matter. The line that gave Geno time matters. The line that gave holes to a dynamic running backs matter. A DK, a Noah Fant, Tyler Lockett, a Jackson Smith and Jimba. All those matters. We got one guy.
Right. One. But you know what?
So even if you bring a new quarterback, that ain't gonna work. Coaches, not gonna work. You got to get some personnel.
You do.
That too.
And that's the thing where we're leading into the next one. To get that personnel, you have the number 1 pick in the draft again, guys. Like, I'm all for, and I still want them trading back and getting more assets.
That makes sense. But you have to also remember that Justin is about to come out that contract. So
you still got him 2 more years if you offer him to buy out sign him for that 5th-year option. You could still have him.
What's that? 25 million?
It's like 25 million. But I mean, we have the money and the salary cap. Isn't the salary cap going up another 20 million next year?
It goes up 25.
30
this year. I thought.
Yeah, 30 million
this year. It's going. I mean, we have the money, and like the thing is, like, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna bring in a Caleb Williams. You're still throwing it to the one guy in DJ Moore, because I am a Cole Kmet fan. I love Cole Kmet. But reports came out, he blocked over 75% of the time all of last season because they don't trust that offensive line.
Yeah, he's a hand in the ground type end because he needs to help. He needs to help them on the end.
Yeah.
Because otherwise Justin be dead by now if he didn't.
Shit. And you know, it's funny that you say that. Is because when you sit up there and you look at a lot of Caleb Williams plays, and like I said, I like the kid, he can spin the ball or whatnot, but when you look at a lot of his plays, first of all, he's playing in the Pac-12, where they're notoriously known for not having any fucking defenses. You're not going to be able to have the fake left, go right, do a motherfucking 360, and then have enough time to sit up there and throw the ball to a receiver that may
be do that in the NFL,
or throwing some shit up hoping that he can get it. That shit doesn't happen in the NFL because the athletes are smarter, bigger, and faster. So you're not going to be able to do that. And then on top of it, Justin Fields with his elite athleticism, I think people don't really understand how elite he really is, because if he didn't have that athleticism, fuck having the number 9 pick. We will be having the number 2 pick because of the simple fact that we would have lost so many fucking games.
But the issue is that as elite as he is, they didn't know how to use. Look, he rushed for 1,300 yards. And he still lost a shitload of games.
Yeah.
So regardless of how elite he is, it's like having Jordan and making him play in the post. You know what I mean? It don't make sense.
But that's
it's
not
just
Justin's fault.
Yeah,
the first year.
that's
no,
putting
it's not.
Justin in a
It's
bad
not
position.
his fault.
Even if
But
we scrub the first year, Nate, even if we say that his rookie year don't count, the sheer fact that his first full year as a starter, they were tanking anyway. Like all those losses go against his record. Then this year, when you expect a little something from him, your head coach purposely lost 3 games. That's 10-7 right there. That's playoffs.
Yeah.
And it all falls on Justin's head because he's
and that's the BS I be talking about.
And all you hear from the national media, oh, Justin, like, first of all, it's funny that you were talking about the female running back coach, right? Who the fuck gave this woman, Joy Taylor, a fucking platform to fucking talk on? Because first of all, she's sitting up there, her and Shady McCoy, because he's about as shady as they fucking come too. I don't know if Justin fucked his girl or whatever the hell they did. He sits up there and they keep talking about, oh, his record is 10-28. Well, I'll put it to you like this. You give most quarterbacks, and even Pat Mahomes or Tom Brady, you give them fucking St. Brown, you give them fucking Velus Jones, you give them Byron Pringle.
Not even the good St. Brown, the other one.
The other one.
Exactly. Not Amar, but the taller brother. The taller brother, yeah. You give him that. Then you give him a fucking below average ass offensive line with average to below average running backs in a dumbass play call, and you tell me what the fuck you gonna do? How many wins you gonna come up with? And don't fucking forget that your defense throughout his time here has given up 25 plus points per game on average.
NFL record, if I'm not
fucking win games.
And can't get sacks, can't get pressure.
Right.
But it's all Justin's fault.
Yeah, it's all Justin's fault, though. It feels, yeah. You know, he can't go in the pocket.
It's always the quarterback's fault in Chicago, guys.
I normally don't do this, Nate, but I'm going to do this anyway because it's against my character. But you know what? Damn it. We have
crazy. I agree with you. Players never tank, but coaches can put you in the right position to tank.
Absolutely.
That's where we're going with it. Players never tank. I will 100%.
Hold on, Frank. I want Nate to hear this piece because I want his thoughts on this. But Luke Getsy got another job.
Right.
We talking about Justin losing his.
Well, that's that fraternity, that coaching fraternity.
The good old boy network.
Oh, well, don't get me to start with that because Eric Bieniemy don't even have a job, and that like.
He's in what? He's in college.
That ain't the job.
He went to. Yeah, I think it was UCLA, right? I think that's.
That ain't the job he wanted. He should have.
No, he wanted in the NFL, and he deserved to be in the NFL. At least
he deserved the head job.
He deserved the head job. He should have just the way Pierce got the Raiders job.
Exactly.
I feel they should have gave that man a job, or at least had him in the running for one of them other jobs. Because here we go again. You look at the Rooney Rule, and they continue to hire people with no experience. This dude has won Super Bowls with arguably the most talented quarterback we've seen in decades. That person gives him a glowing endorsement. No job. Luke Getsy, on the other hand, has come out, gets a job. We know his trials and tribulations here in Chicago. He said he wants Justin in Las Vegas. I don't understand what's going on.
Yeah, I did not believe that one bit, honestly. There's no way that I believe that one bit. Because technically, if we're going to say Justin got Getsy fired, that is true. But at the same time, Getsy deserved to get fired because of what he did with Justin. Like, it's kind of both. So there's no way that Getsy wanted Justin in Chicago. Then
he might want Justin so he can use Justin as a scapegoat again. To get him another 2 years in the league.
That might be smart.
Right.
If I was Justin, I sure the hell wouldn't want that. But
and that's all we saying, Nate. Like, you sit up there, you don't want to come. The definition of insanity is keep doing the same thing but expecting a different result. So if you come in here, you already know that your head coach is on the fucking chopping block. His seat is fucking hot as hell. You talking about the odds of you? If I'm a bet man and I go to Vegas. And I know that the Bears are drafting a fucking rookie quarterback. What's the odds of the Bears making the fucking playoffs with a rookie quarterback?
Zero.
They're not too good. So if I'm a bet man, I'm gonna bet that the Bears don't sit up there and make it. If they don't make the fucking playoffs, guess what? Your head coach is gone. Then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna bring in another head coach. He's gonna sit up here whether if Caleb don't develop, the same fucking tired ass Mia that's over here fucking blowing on his balls right now are gonna be sitting up there trying to chop off his balls in 3 or 4 years.
David Kraplin.
He's not good. Oh, he's too short. Oh, he doesn't play any on rhythm. He's always off platform. Oh, he doesn't step up in the pocket. He just keeps going back and getting to sacks.
He holds the ball too long.
He holds the ball too long.
Right.
Unless a quarterback is great,
everything on
immediately
him.
you're always going to get shit on
Him, until they have some
Right.
other quarterback that they call generational, supposed to be generational. Oh, the Bears got a chance to get this guy.
We got to draft Arch Manning. He's got the pedigree.
Right.
He's
a fucking Manning.
Arch Manning can't even play in Texas.
Right.
He couldn't get on the field.
He can't get on the field in Texas.
Well, you might as well go.
And
Might as well go get the
fucking
Chargers
PCP.
quarterback coach as our new coach, Vince Lombardi, because he's got the field. Vince Lombardi's son. He's got it.
Shit, you got Harbaugh. You know, look. I mean, it's just luck of the draw, man. Harbaugh in Michigan, he got how many? Was it 20 of them kids was at the combine, man?
18.
They should have won the national championship.
Well, the thing was, and I'm a Michigan guy, so the thing was to them, Harbaugh couldn't win it because Harbaugh in his 7 to 8 years in Michigan, he's only won one bowl game. So this whole thing was, he can't win.
And he finally came and did it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm happy.
Until
For
you
him.
do
I'm
it.
not a Michigan fan, as Fowl knows. I am happy for him, though.
And that's Harbaugh's first ever championship winning anything as far as when it comes down to coaching. NFL, college.
He won a bowl game with Andrew Luck.
Lorenzo.
No.
actually
What I'm saying
agreeing
is
with you,
a
Lorenzo, on
championship. Like he's never won a
okay.
Super Bowl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anything.
Right. The
National
big
championship.
one.
This was his first one.
Yeah.
Like, and this is one thing too. Like, and when we were talking about earlier about like what like all the announcer or not that like the beat writers and all this like just crapping all over Justin. I do like hearing what actual former NFL players and Hall of Famers talk about. Other than Brian Urlacher, I believe almost every other NFL good caliber player said that they'd rather keep Justin as well. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. There might be more, but I see a lot more former NFL.
Well, Alex Brown think that they should move on. He believes that Justin is the fucking problem. When Alex, I'm so fucking disappointed in you because you sit up there, you literally watch the fucking shit every fucking Sunday. Go back. You know what, Nate? This is what I'm gonna ask you to do. When you get some free time, and we will have you back on the show. Look at a lot of Justin Fields throws and even some of his highlight plays when he's actually throwing touchdowns, right? The ones that they say that he can't stay in the pocket and throw. Look how many times he gets fucking hit and has a man in his face and he's throwing a fucking touchdown.
100%. He can
in the pocket.
Listen,
it was announced last year.
In the fucking pocket.
It was 1.9 seconds before a hand was in his face.
Look,
49% of his dropbacks, he was being pressured.
But he's got shit around him.
He does.
It's a shit scheme, and he's developing bad habits.
And you know what? Caleb Williams gonna look like shit too.
And easy, yes, I trust
Hey,
more
but
people who
Caleb
actually
Williams gonna
play
look
the
like
game
shit for $8 million
as
compared to
opposed to
20
couch
something.
potatoes.
But that's what I'm saying. So
And
now
that's
you
how
talking about
the
it's the
Bears
money.
think. That's
It's
how
the
the
money.
Bears
You don't
think.
care about winning. It's the money. Seats are filled, and the new stadium is coming. You got gobs and gobs of bread coming. How about staying true? Because I'm telling you what, the spirit of Papa Bear and Muggsy Hallis right now are rolling in their grave for like the millionth cycle. They don't know what these hedge fund nerds are doing to this team. This is not football in Chicago that we used to. Every 2 to 3 years, we get a glimmer of hope. Then it gets snatched away. You snatch the second really bad decision from us. You know what I'm saying? You fire them in a 10-6 year. Then you get a carousel of coaches, retreads, new people that don't even deserve to have a job. You can't get the quarterback position right. You finally get a franchise quarterback. You give him 6 freaking offensive coordinators. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's just bad move after bad move.
They should be forced to sell the team. The other owners should come out and be like, y'all got to sell this mama.
Right. It's probably going to come. They're going to have to sit down at some point. But
it's time, right?
But the problem is that, You know who's the head of that sit down? The old lady's the head of the sit down.
Well, I heard
It's like the
I heard
mafia.
the
You know,
rumors.
the mafia boss is the mafia boss.
I get you. She like Griselda Blanco. I get it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the rumors are when her time is up, the grandbabies don't want nothing to do with the team no more. They want to sell it and get their bread and go on.
I'm taking Frank's place. What up, guys?
Hey, how's it going, Easy?
It's good. It's good. Got a lot of ideas to challenge. Hey, Nate, I love your insight, man. I think you have a lot of really great things to say. But someone was just speaking, and I cut them off by entering, so I didn't want to cut you off. I was interested in. Was it Nate? Nate, were you just talking, or was it JB?
No, we went for Nate rebuttal because he's told us that the ownership is definitely the problem. But again, it's the ineptitude. Even when the ownership puts football people into play, they still do the same thing, and they listen to the wrong people. They say, "Oh, don't go get." If you got a chance, Nate, you played on one of the greatest teams ever assembled. If you have a chance to build a team like that, why don't you?
Oh, Frank, you're back.
Just had to go check something really quick.
Oh, okay.
Nate is muted. Are you?
I got him.
Oh, you cut him off.
I think we just lost Nate.
Oh, well, how about that? I scared him away. My bad.
Dude,
I didn't think I was that intimidating.
You're ugly as shit, man.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, it is what it is. But Frank, I got to call you on that because, like, you can't just say you listen to NFL players except for the NFL players that you don't want to listen to.
When did I say that?
You just now. You said, you know.
No. You didn't listen.
Nate is back.
I said other than Brian Urlacher, mostly all other NFL players that played the game really would rather have Justin Fields.
Not Chase Daniel, not Brian Baldinger.
Chase Daniels never said that. He said he'd rather have Justin Fields.
He never said he'd rather have Justin Fields. He's a Caleb guy. I don't think he said one way or the other, but he's a Caleb guy.
Easy. You're wrong. He's on his own YouTube show, and he states why he would keep Justin Fields. It's a big
on his YouTube show. He broke down Caleb Williams and said he was a big fan of his, but you know
he still said he would keep Justin.
He's saying good things about Caleb.
Okay,
too. He said he would rather keep Justin as well.
You know what? Caleb,
hey, look, I want to
weird stuff.
Shit.
Hold on, Nate. I can't hear you. Say it again.
Caleb does some weird stuff.
A lot of weird stuff.
Sure.
He has a lot of feminine qualities. And you can't be a leader of men like that.
You talk about the nail polish?
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the things he like. Do you remember when he was crying on the sideline? He covered his face. Remember all that?
Yeah.
You just cry, man. And then
it shows you his passion for the game, but
and this and that. It's like weird stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's a diva. I think that's a good word for him. He's a diva.
Yeah,
You think a bunch of grown ass men gonna follow a diva? That's not gonna happen.
Especially in Chicago, man. That's gonna be
right.
We are hard nosed city.
We want people to ball out.
Just walking out the front door, let alone our sport.
If you're not gonna be a talented guy, you better be one of the guys. You better be Jim McMahon. You better be drinking with them linemen and hanging out with them and doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Because that goes a long way. Therefore, they'll die for you. They're gonna make that extra effort to get that block because they care about you. If you're not the leader of men, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, looky there, Easy. What is he saying? All the media is spread. Oh, now you're gonna take that off.
I didn't touch it. Here, I'll put it back up. All the media spread. Well, okay. So just because, so Tony Perkins says that the media is spreading propaganda. So look, no offense, Tony. I'm sure you're a great guy, but like, is Tony Perkins' word law? I don't think so. I really.
Everyone's got their own opinions on the matter, and I will say one thing: a name he brought up is Keyshawn Johnson, and I love hearing what Keyshawn Johnson has to say. All right,
so they're spreading propaganda unless it's someone you agree with, and then it's not propaganda. Then it's just the truth.
No, that's where you're wrong. It's like politics. It's propaganda to lead you to believe something that's not fully true. If you don't tell me the full truth, you're misleading me.
Correct. But this is
propaganda. This is the definition of propaganda, brother. That's what
I know. Yeah, no, propaganda is like the deliberate spreading of misinformation. Yes. But it's not deliberate spreading of misinformation when you're sharing reasoned judgments like that you reach. Like these aren't like
Easy.
The reason we have these conversations is because nothing.
Look what your dad just said.
Look
what your dad just said.
My dad. I've heard Caleb's teammates loved him. Is that a true story? That's what my dad just said.
Yeah.
How much time in the combine this past weekend did you hear Caleb is so loved by his teammates? I can go back to the bowl game where his teammate literally said, "We finally are a team now that dude is gone, and we won with our backup who threw 6 touchdowns." Give the full
400 yards and 6
to the coin. Give me the whole story. Don't give me this crap. Because he's not loved by all his teammates. He's looked upon as a diva, a selfish individual by a lot of his own people. That is
I've never seen quite the smear campaign on a prospect. Never in my life. Like just the amount of like fake quotes they attribute to him all the time. You just get the ESPN graphic and write a bunch of shit under it. Yeah, no, it's
Nate, you started off the show by saying Daryl Talley would have nipped all that in the butt. Get your ass together or get out.
Right.
Where is that going to happen here in Chicago?
It's not.
Caleb Williams come here. Thank you. It's not.
Yeah,
you got a soft coach. You got
inmates run the aside.
Alpha dog.
Right.
Yeah. Not even at quarterback.
I do have to head out in a little bit, but I wanted to play a clip of, and everyone's going to say propaganda, but what Keyshawn Johnson said on this past episode of Undisputed, and I know 99% of the world hates Skip Bayless, so that's fine. So I pretty much just muted out whatever the hell he had to say. But this is where it came.
But if I'm the Chicago Bears, and I've said it multiple times when they first started talking about it,
you did.
I'm keeping Justin damn Fields. Now, it may be too late because y'all done kind of let it get spiral out of control about the way you, I guess, feel about him. So now those feelings are going to seep into his mind, and he scrubbed the social media, and he feels a certain way about the organization now. But starting off early, though, Skip, I'm trading the pick, and I'm building my roster, and I'm trying to get Marvin Harrison Jr., so I'm not necessarily trying to fall out of that 3 spot, because if he drops down to 4, Arizona's taking him. Arizona's going to take him for sure
I'll buy
at the
that.
4 spot.
Yep.
So I'm trying to stay within that 3 spot to get an opportunity to get him, pick up my offensive lineman, build some other players around him, re-sign Jalen Johnson, the corner, to a max deal that he can possibly get the cornerback position. And now the Chicago Bears are going to be rolling. That's what they should do. And Jaden Daniels is one of those teams that need a quarterback, whether it's the New England Patriots moving up, whether it's Washington slightly moving up, they should look at and take Jaden Daniels. I don't think Chicago should take him or Caleb.
Okay.
When you talk about numbers and stuff like that, man, that's cool. All that's great. I mentioned one thing. Joe Burrow won big.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Caleb has yet to
So Caleb's record as a starter in college football is 23-10.
Yeah. And you know who some of them 10 losses was against?
Yes, I do.
Teams that mattered.
Okay.
Teams that finished the deal. Teams that was good.
You remember who his defensive coordinator was for all 3 of those years?
I understand.
Yeah.
All of those things. But when you start looking and breaking down film, some of those games that he lost had nothing to do with the defensive coordinator. I was at the Notre Dame game, and I watched him this year from the sideline.
That's a fair one.
So when I'm looking at that, a lot of mistakes, a lot of this, a lot of that.
But
also
he lost his Heisman year. He lost 2 shootouts to Utah that were up in the 40s, right?
I understand that. I get that. But when you aren't beating the teams with great defenses, or not great defenses, but better defenses than the Oregon States of the world, it's hard for me to sit back there and go, okay, well, his statistics say this, but then I look at the win-loss column, and when I look at the loss column, and I look at the teams, and I look at the defenses that he played against and he struggled against, you sit and go, okay.
That's where I was always going with it. I think that matters.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's got points. I don't argue with that. I've said, I don't think Keyshawn is an idiot in this context at all.
And for the first time, I'm going to say something. I'm not dissing Caleb Williams. I think he is going to be a good quarterback. I just feel Justin Fields is going to be better for the Chicago Bears than Caleb Williams. especially if you put Marvin Harrison Jr. and DJ Moore opposite sides of it.
They still need to get offensive line.
And we're hoping 9, you'll get that Fushami from Penn State, right?
Fashanu
from Penn State. I'm hoping he slips to 9 offensive tackle.
They just got the center from Buffalo, right? They traded and got him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a
speak to that because he just a guy.
Play type guy. I like if you trade back and you could acquire a 2nd round pick again, you get the center from Georgia as well in the 2nd round, and then you're rolling with a pro ready type center as well. That I think he is.
I mean, one thing that I was listening to when I was listening to that clip right there, I saw how Skip sit up there and says about Caleb's defensive coordinator, who his defensive coordinator is, and when they were alluding to his record of being, what was it, 23-10 at USC, I don't want to hear that shit. And the reason why I don't,
Justin that.
Yeah, the reason why I don't want to hear because I don't sit up there and see them that Justin Fields, they don't get to talk about who his offensive coordinator was, who his coach was.
Nobody wants to hear that.
Who he had throwing, who he was throwing a fucking ball to, what fucking type of players that he had on the fucking offensive line. All they sit up there and say, guess what? Joy Taylor, Shady McCoy, all the rest of you fucking so-called experts that like to talk about fucking records. He's 10-28. That's it. He doesn't win fucking games. He's 10-28. But he was never given a chance to really fucking sit up there. He wasn't given players to help him get better. He wasn't coached.
Well, that ends up being the issue is this. When you got a kid in college, right? Check this out. How many people are about to get drafted? So you playing against a bunch of insurance salesmen and shit, in 3 years. Like, honestly speaking, everybody ain't going. Even if you do get drafted, it's not. You might not
make the roster.
So, yeah, it's only so many cats that make it. You know what I mean? And so therefore, finding guys is tough. They have the ability to make it, and then putting that puzzle together. And that's the problem is having the Bill Polians of the world gone, man. The Bill Polians of the world, all right. The Bill Polians of the world are gone. The franchise builders, you know what I mean? The guys that can know how to really put it together. Now people just kind of slap shit together now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Kansas City, they kind of took their time, you know what I mean? It wasn't a pressure cooker. It's not minute rice, you know what I mean? It takes time to build a offensive line, you know what I mean? It takes time and it takes luck. You know what I mean? You might have a guy and he's a 5th round guy. Next thing you know, 15 years later, he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? You have no idea what you're getting until
that's absolutely
it's out there, good or bad. So sometimes you get a kid, like I don't know. There's hundreds of these kids, man, that come out and they got all types of talent around them. Like the quarterback from Georgia a couple years ago. What's his name?
Oh, you're talking about
Stetson Bennett?
Yeah, Stetson Bennett. Check this out. Stetson Bennett was awesome in college.
He's enough.
Right. He'll be a perennial backup and he'll stick around and he'll make some money, but he's not going to be somebody that's going to change the franchise.
He's like 40 years old.
And
he was old.
It's like, and I'll just say some names, like you said. Ain't too many Jim Kellys walking through that door right now.
No, right.
They haven't earned that pedigree yet. Ain't too many Warren Moons walking through that door right now. Forget before we even get to Patrick Mahomes, because that's on a tier by itself. That's like saying Michael Jordan. There will never be another. Let's see who can get here and win some games. That's why I like a Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like a player like that.
One who's in the moments.
Who's in the moment and just wants to win.
Right.
You're showing me that the quarterback position can be won multiple ways. Defensively, right? You win with Trent Dilfer, you win with Brad Johnson because your defense was good and your quarterbacks managed the game. You win with Nick Foles. Who the hell predicted that?
Right.
Nobody. You win with a Matthew Stafford. got the right guy at the right time. The right time. And that's what I'm saying. But when you have all this ego and turmoil before you even get picked, that's a red flag for me.
Right.
Like that gives me Ryan Leaf vibes. Because remember, Ryan Leaf was talking all that shit, and then
okay, little different. Ryan Leaf was talking like, "Oh, once I get picked, I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna spend a week in Vegas." Like he was giving like red flags about not wanting to work hard. Caleb has never.
I'm talking about red flags in general.
I'll give you that. Yeah,
I'm just talking about red flags in general. That's what Caleb is.
Frank just gave me something. Oh my goodness!
Easy, I'm backing you for now.
I forgot what that was like.
Nate, I wanted to ask you one thing.
I do gotta head out.
That we talk about.
Foul, we'll get to your question. I'm about to take over for Frank. We'll get to it, but I want Frank to be able to give his final piece.
Tony, perfect. You win with Eli and a good defense. Thank you.
Nate, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. We'll definitely have you on again. Shout out everyone in the chat. Chat was lit. It still is lit like crazy. We got a lot of viewers right now, which is fabulous. Please, everybody who's on, head over to YouTube and hit that like button for us as well and subscribe for us on YouTube, because we want to permanently start shifting all this stuff over to YouTube. Sorry, I do got to head out early. I actually have a hockey game where I am needed because there's a guy talking shit and he wants to fight me.
How's the team going to survive without the cheerleader?
We'll see how that goes, because last time he decided to fight me, I whooped his ass in 2 seconds. So this might end quickly. I might be out of the game within a few minutes, but I need to be there for my team, unlike some people, who aren't.
That was a shot.
I'm not saying any names though, right? But you guys have a good one, all right?
All right.
Take care.
I'll let you, Frank. So Nate,
all right, peace, Frank. I want to quickly, Foul, we'll get to your point, and then I'm going to add Mr. Chicago.
Okay, cool. I'm sorry, Nate. I wanted to ask you about you were talking about Daryl Talley in the locker room or whatnot. Tell me, from your experience of being in the locker room in the NFL, that you have players that are vouching for this quarterback. They believe in this quarterback. Do you think by bringing in someone like Caleb Williams that they really don't know, they're really not vouching for, and a guy that they're willing to lay on a sword for? Do you think by drafting Caleb and getting rid of Justin, would that cause a lot of friction in the locker room?
No, I don't think that would cause friction, because they're gonna give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? Because that is what it is. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, you go to your garage, you got 2 cars, you can only pick 2. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get to work somehow. So they gotta be like, all right, what they're gonna do is if they draft Caleb, they're gonna give him a chance, and he's gonna prove them either right or wrong. You know what I mean? And then that's when it goes crazy. If it comes out that he is a diva, this and that, yada yada yada, or he's just not a leader. Like, what's the kid's name? Had a cannon arm for the Bears. It was a horrible leader.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, right? You know what I mean? Like, he's a champagne sipper, bro. This don't go well. It don't go well with a bunch of beer drinkers, man. And those guys, and there are no leaders. You know what I mean? Who would be?
Yeah.
I can't even name a guy.
So I'm glad you said that. Whose team is it then? Right now, currently constructed.
Right.
Whose team is it?
I think it's Mr. Chicago's team.
I don't know whose team it is. I mean, it's easy to say Sweat because he's probably the most dominant. It's easy to say DJ because he's the most productive. But they're both quiet. So
right. Everybody. And DJ just got here.
And DJ and Sweat just got here. Whose team is it?
Yep.
Right. I just know
what's good.
We don't have Daryl Talley.
Yeah.
Right.
Or, what I mean? We had. I mean, I walked. When I walked into Buffalo, man, it was a veteran team. That hard team to make because all the pieces were already in place. They're coming off 2 Super Bowls, so I got to find my piece. You know what I mean? But man, I'm telling you, just the leadership and the, knowing who you riding with wins games in and of itself. You know what I mean? I mean, check this out. If Jim Kelly's not throwing up for the game, we hollering at him to throw up because he played better when he throw up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we really like, come on, Jim, throw up. You know what I mean? It's the craziest stuff, but that's how it works, man. You know what I'm saying? And you got a guy, and you with a guy. When you with a guy, you with a guy. But when you're not with a guy, everything is horrible, and that's what could happen with this. If they go to Caleb way and steer away from Justin. But then on the other hand, how can you the relationship between the Bears and Justin, that's like your girl cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? You always gonna be looking at the corner of your eye. You know what I mean? It's gonna be a weird relationship. I'm not saying you can't make it, but I guarantee it always be in the back of your mind. And that's gonna keep you from playing up to your full
Going out with
potential.
the girls, huh?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I fell asleep at my girl's house. Oh yeah. So I mean, I think that the relationship has to be mended too now. Now it's more than just Justin's development. It's the relationship between him and everybody else and the staff.
Well, that is if they end up keeping him.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure they will.
Speak to that too, Nate. As Nate Turner, football guru, what would you do just first round with the first and 9th pick? What would you do?
At this point in time, football wise, with my football mind, you got to keep him. You got to keep him, and you got to build around him. That's the only way that you're going to make it work. And it's not everybody. This is the instant gratification era where everybody wants shit right now. It might take 3 years, but you have to state that this is our process. Yada yada. This is what we're doing, and you can build that offensive line in 2 years.
Complete rebuild, by the way. You don't do that in a year.
Right. No way. It's not just the offense. You got to do a lot of shit on defense. You got people that been hanging around stealing money. What's that safety's name?
Eddie Jackson.
He's gone now.
He might as well come to work with a mask on, with a gun.
Well, I mean, he's gone now.
He's going to be an Eagle.
But he's been stealing money for a long time.
Yeah. Well, I do want to.
Exactly. Just like that.
Well, no, first and foremost, guys, thanks for having me on the show. Secondly, I want to touch on a couple of things that Nate brought up. Nate, appreciate your expertise in this particular area, man. It's definitely appreciated. Now, something you said about leadership. So during the season last year, I was very adamant about bringing this up consistently about how we don't have that rah-rah guy in the damn locker room. Everybody's so lackadaisical. Everybody's so cool, calm, and collective. And then when 3 and out comes out and we're on the goddamn sideline, everybody's sulking, got their head down, moping and shit. Pick your damn head up. Be a man. Rally your team up and say, hey, man, come on, man. Hey, come on, man. You can't miss that block, dog. Come on. We got this game. A lot of times watching this team, being a fan of this team my whole life, I can tell you more times than not, there's been games where we lost the game. The other team didn't beat us. It's a matter of perspective. You think about how, as much as I love Justin, the one thing I do hate about Justin is that he's so damn cool and shit. When things going wrong with him, he just get all mopey. He'll look at the tablet a little bit, but then he'll start just looking all sad and shit. He's like, I'm not a rah-rah guy. Well, goddamn it, I need you to be. I need somebody on that sideline cussing y'all ass out, getting in everybody's face, holding somebody accountable. Hey, man, come on, man. We got this shit.
Mr. Chicago, you bring up a really good point.
Let's go, man. We got to play. We men out here. We are Bears. This is not Bears football out there on the sideline being all sulking and shit. Like, come on, man. And that comes from the head coach, too. So I'm not going to put all this on just the players and no accountability on the head coach. But the players still got to go out there and play. So somebody on this team that's wearing that fucking C on their jersey got to be able to say, I'm the leader. I'm going to rally these troops up and get them going. Somebody got to get us going because there is no one that's really holding this team, offense or defense, accountable. And we can't ask for Montez Sweat, who only been with the goddamn team 8 to 10 games. We can't ask DJ Moore to do that just because he's the best damn player on the damn team offensively.
No, Mr. Chicago, you can't ask anyone to do it. You can't ask anyone to do it. Someone's got to step up and do it. That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying. When you think about the Legion of Boom, when you think about the old Bears team, when you think about the Baltimore Ravens team, you had those specific players who were out there. Hey, man, come on, man. Even when they got into it with each other. I remember seeing Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor on the side, like getting into it. Michael Bennett was right there. KJ Wright was right there. Bobby Wagner was like, yeah, come on. Yeah, it's all right. Shake that shit off, though. Yeah. I know he got in your face. It's okay. But guess what?
Look at any great quarterback. Look at any great quarterback. They all get fiery like that. Tom Brady, always fiery on the sideline. Patrick Mahomes.
That passion is something that ain't on the stat sheet. That passion is something that you can't teach. Either you got it or fucking you don't. And the fact is, we don't have nobody on this team.
Aaron Rodgers
hasn't had them for a while to even really rally the troops up and galvanize the team and say, "Hey, man, this is our game to win."
That's the issue. What you said is exactly right, and that's the issue with all of this. All of this is at the combine. There's no drill you can do to tell you how much heart you got. There's no drill to tell you how much of a leader you are. You know what I mean? Everybody's raving about this dude ran this 4.21. Hey, the dude that ran a 4.22 didn't play 2 downs in the NFL. So it don't even, you know what I mean? She give me a football player.
Right. I need somebody with some heart, man.
Another thing that's impossible to measure at a combine, and this is, to support all arguments here, you can't measure consistency at a combine. You can't.
No, you can't.
You can never tell how consistent
just show
the
your
quarterback
best
will be.
in that moment in time.
What you can do is you can hire coaches. You can hire coaches who are able to develop a culture of discipline and accountability and being firm and fair and honest and demanding and while maintaining like this aura of like accountability within the team. And that's something that the Bears have been lacking. And that's why I always say, like, doesn't matter who the quarterback really is if we can't get the coach right. And that's kind of the elephant in the room to me right now.
Hold on.
I still don't think we recruit
think about that. I want y'all to think about this for a second. So, Easy, you said something there that I wanted to kind of really expound on. So, for starters, we haven't gotten the coach right in over 40 years. We have never gotten this quarterback position right. The last goddamn person that you could consider being right for a quarterback for us was somebody who was playing against people who just got off goddamn work wearing Docker pants and polo shirts. So they were out there on the goddamn field just playing some damn football because it was just
Billy Wade.
Sid Luckman was playing against some damn accountants and some damn financial advisors. Wasn't no damn body really out there playing football in 1920. But you're going to sit up here and tell me that from the time this franchise started to now, we haven't gotten one damn quarterback that we can consistently talk shit about and be confident that we can have this person lead this team to a damn victory. We haven't had that. So, with that,
we have one for 2 years. That's it.
We have. Listen,
which one, Eric Kramer?
No, it's Jim McMahon because he'll
Jim
tell the coach go to hell.
I still think Kramer did like.
Kramer was good though. No. Kramer had moments. We give him that, but
the injuries, sure.
There was never a consistency at the quarterback when it comes to this franchise specifically. But with that being the case, we have asked Justin, right, to be put in a situation that we know all too well, where there's been consecutive coaching staffs, consecutive GMs with this one damn quarterback. We've asked him to part the Red Sea without a goddamn staff. And we're wondering why he's not as successful. Now, I'm not putting all of this on just the coaches because I'm here to bring a perspective that most people don't consider. But most of these guys on this panel obviously have heard me say this about where I stand when it comes to making this decision. I'm not. At this point, I'm in Atlanta. I've watched Justin damn near all his life. But I'm not.
You want me to? I could expound on that. I could expound. Mr. C, let me expound a little bit on your Red Sea reference real quick. Yeah, Moses obviously raised the staff, parts the sea, and now we can't eat bread for 8 days. But really what happened, according to the Torah or the Bible, whatever you want to call it, like there was a guy who jumped into the Red Sea and said, you know what, I'm going to go for this myself. I'm going to jump in. His name was Nachshon, and he swam, and, that's what led God to parting the sea, according to the Midrashim. So the point I'm making by, going biblical here is we need a Nachshon. We need a guy who's willing to just be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to take charge. Like, that's kind of what I'm saying is, and that's kind of what you're saying too, is we don't have that accountability within the culture. And that's what, that's something that's just been missing for a very long time. And I'm ready for Justin to take that step if the Bears roll with him.
Check this out.
Or,
he's not just going to become that guy. If he hasn't showed it yet, I don't see him just becoming that guy. He's not. He's not.
You don't think that? Have you ever?
I don't think he's going to put his shirt on. The next thing you know, he's a leader.
Well,
Nick,
this is why I said that.
Experience.
This is why I said, I want to speak to that real quick.
Go ahead.
So this is the perspective that I brought to the table. So again, I'm not anti or pro Justin. I'm not anti or pro Caleb. What I am pro is Ryan Poles getting this fucking shit right now, because he has. This is probably the most pivotal moment in time when it comes to the offseason that the Bears franchise has probably had, probably ever. We've never been in a more critical moment in the offseason at this moment in time that we're in, even more than last year. We are in a situation where we have 2 number 1 picks. I mean, 2 picks in the first round, and we can do 1 or 2 things. Now, Ryan Poles, who's been very strategic, especially given that he had a lot to do with that whole building of that dynasty in Kansas City for the last 13 years, and he was there prior to joining us. Now, with that said, he understands the ins and outs of what needs to be done from a scouting perspective. That's good. But when it comes to the decision that has to be made this year, no matter what decisions that he go with, whether he keep Justin or whether he draft another quarterback, he better fucking be right about it. Because this can either set us up for the future successfully for the next 5 to 6 years, or this can set us back another goddamn 10 years again. And what could happen, and I'm going to look at both scenarios. If he go with a quarterback in this draft and the quarterback don't play well and we don't make the playoffs, he's fired. There are more scenarios in this situation where Ryan Poles can lose his job than there are him retaining his job. If he keep Justin and Justin don't play well, he's fired. If he go with one of these other quarterbacks and they don't play well, and Justin goes somewhere else and play well, he's fired. But if he hits a home run with whatever decision that he goes with, and it pays off huge dividends, then he looks like a fucking genius in the matter. But this is what I always told people: he can't afford to get any of this shit wrong. Whatever decision he go with, he better be 10 toes down on this shit, or this is it. He has to get fired because this is year 3 now. I can't listen to it no fucking more. This is year 3. I can't listen to it no more, man. We as Bears fans, we're not waiting that fucking long anymore. No, that's the problem right fucking there. We're not waiting. You keep talking about we as Bears fans ain't waiting. You're allowing years of frustration. We've waited 40 years. You're allowing years of frustration to sit up there to cloud your fucking judgment. First of all, let me tell you something. If they draft Caleb and Caleb ain't the guy as far as next year, or he didn't have a productive season. Now guess what? Caleb's gonna be under the 2 coaching staffs in 2 years, just like Justin will be. It will be a revolving door. Be the same shit that Justin went through with a new quarterback. I agree with you on that. But my thing is this: if they get Caleb, if they draft Caleb, the expectation, like you said up there and you said previous, is to go to the playoffs, right? Yep. That's your goal for next year. Yep. Win, lose, or draw is to make the playoffs next year. Not just playoffs. Don't talk about. Not just make the playoffs. We better control our own fate making the playoffs. Not know we need somebody to lose shit. Oh no, we won 7 games this year. We better go up from here. We better not go down.
It's almost no way that shit's gonna happen because you got to do the offensive line. That takes time to build. What have we been doing the past 3 years? It's not that many holes in field, though. It's not that many holes in field like last year. It's a 3-year project.
Wait, have they not been rebuilding the offensive line the past 2 seasons, though? Getting a rookie in Darnell Wright last year, who played really well. Signing Nate Davis didn't play great, but Tevin Jenkins is still, solid at guard. And
they started playing well as the season progressed. So
remember also
they didn't get a whole season together because most of them were either hurt or
whatever. Easy. This is where I say the BS comes in. Darnell Wright, I will give you, yes, godsend, and we pretty much got another number 1 when you look at what DJ Moore did. Other than that, the linemen that Poles has acquired have not been that great.
Right.
Via the
No,
draft
I'd agree to that.
He's hit
Well,
on
Nate, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you, JB, Nate, I do have a question about this, and this is something I'm genuinely curious about. Not really like, anyway, I'll just go ahead and ask, but like, how much of an offensive line, how much of offensive line prowess is based on like how talented the players are, / like how good their chemistry is as a unit? Like, how much of it is about cohesiveness? How much of it is about just having really big guys? And also, how much, if any, role does the quarterback play in, making sure the offensive line is in the right spots at the right time?
I think it's all of it. It always helps to have a cerebral lineman, one of them at least. The leader of that line has to be cerebral and be, a mind of the game.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? One of them has to be. And then
will
they
improve
also
that
have
for
to
us?
care about the quarterback and trust that he's the guy. He's the guy to pull the trigger. He's, the trigger man. If you don't trust the trigger man, you're just out there pissing in the wind anyway.
Yeah, and that left tackle spot is the most critical spot for a quarterback on average than any other
For
spot.
a right-hand quarterback, yes. Yeah.
To a right-handed quarterback. So with that being the case,
when's the
Braxton
last time
Jones,
we got that right?
Yeah, Braxton Jones has played moderately okay for the most part. I'm not 100% sold on him. Right. I'm with you on that.
Moderately okay.
Moderately okay. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on him. I'm being a for sure starter, but I will say as the season progressed, he started to play better. But he don't do well with bull rushes. He get his ass just mauled over like
Mr. C. You're saying you're talking about Braxton Jones?
Yes.
Okay. I think. Look,
now
we don't want to get too complacent here.
Played better. Tevin Jenkins is much more on the aggressive side of things, so I actually like that about him. My only problem with him is that he can't stay on the goddamn field. The best ability is availability. If your ass ain't out there, how can I even account for you to be?
I disagree, Mr. C. When it comes to offensive line, I disagree with that statement. You know who was always very, very available is Charles Leno. He was available.
He was available. He was terrible.
But he was available.
His ass was always on the damn ground.
Hey, wait a minute. Charles Leno made a Pro Bowl, y'all.
Oh, yeah, he made a Pro Bowl, and then he went to shit.
He was terrible here, though.
He made a Pro Bowl. But I'm saying that's bad. You're terrible here, and then you go to another team and become a Pro Bowler.
No, he didn't. I don't think
he made the Pro Bowl here.
He made a Pro Bowl here, got paid, and then kind of
he
became bad. I don't want to talk too much shit on Charles Leno because he's a really good guy, but and he's not with us. So
here's the thing, though: every GM wants their own quarterback. The fact is, Justin is not tied to the hip of Ryan Poles per se. It's not to say that Ryan Poles don't like Justin, but you all know this, and Nate, you can speak to this. Every GM who comes in with their own coach, with their own staff, in the front office. They have their own approaches at things. They have their own ideas of who they want to have leading this team. They want to be able to put their name on someone and say, hey, I picked that guy. That was me that did that versus someone else doing it. It ain't too much credit he can take for Justin Fields' success if he has success and if he goes with Justin versus a player that he actually goes with, that he actually picked, handpicked, and was responsible for a draft.
I can't speak to that either because for the simple fact, this is the thing. He's the fucking boss, right? He can sit up there and say, I chose to stick with this fucking kid. He may not have been the motherfucker that sit up there that brought him in, but you can sit up there and say, oh, I chose to stick with him because I could have got rid of his ass if I wanted to because guess what? I'm the fucking boss. I can fucking do that.
Well, Fowler, think about this, though. Never has it ever been a time that I can remember that the Bears have had an opportunity 2 years in a row to draft a quarterback. Now, when you don't draft the quarterback, that's a decision that you make. So he made a choice regardless whether he kept one or he kept Justin or went with another one. That's still a decision. So he already made that decision last year, and he was early on about Justin's our guy. We're going to go with him. Now it's an indictment on him to sit up here and fire the damn offensive coaching staff, knowing damn well how much responsibility they really pretty much had with how bad this offense had been consistently playing. But yet, you're going to move on from Justin, too. You saw that Luke Getsy was a goddamn problem. You got rid of him. I hate the fact that this team wait to the goddamn end of the damn year to fire the motherfucker, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, you knew he was a damn problem, so you got rid of him. So why not bring in someone more competent who can actually coach this kid and utilize his skill set to the best of their ability. Instead of getting rid of him, bringing somebody else in new. Now you got a new OC. You better fucking be right about Shane Aldridge.
And I understand.
You better be right about him.
What you're saying. I understand
Because
what you're saying,
he
but
wasn't
the
my
thing
choice.
is this: we can't speak on that because just like the fucking national media and the local media don't know what the fuck is going on, neither do we. So
No,
we don't know. We can't go into that until we find out if he's gonna trade him or if he's gonna keep.
Well, see, this is the thing though about the offseason that I fucking hate. One, I hate that we suck and go into the offseason because now it's a lot of speculation and a lot of bullshit hyperbole going on, which I don't like to entertain because it's like everyone's a goddamn expert now on what we should and should not fucking do, which is why I don't oftentimes speak on until things start moving around and moves start to be made. With that,
you do plenty of speaking, Mr. C.
Well, I mean, now, but with that said, though, I want to, because we're getting closer to the time where some decisions are starting to be made or will be made in the upcoming weeks. Now we can start to really narrow down where everyone thinks they know in terms of what they're favoring and what they would like to happen. But Ryan Poles has been very discreet about not even dispersing that information, and he wants to do his due diligence, rightfully so. He can't jump the gun with this shit because that can be catastrophic. He got to be sure. This is why he's taking his fucking time. He got to be sure he's right about this because if he's not, this fucking fan base is going to hang his fucking head on the pike. He's not going to get away with this foul. He's not.
I don't think he's worried about the fan base.
Yeah, one thing about him, exactly.
Hold on, Fal.
That's a good thing.
Bullshit. He better
Hold
care
on, listen,
because
listen,
we run this damn organization when it comes to that.
Listen, Chicago.
No, we don't. They have us by the balls. They have us all by the balls.
Easy. Hold on. Listen, y'all are missing again. Don't put the cart before the horse. Like Fal said, he's
platitudes.
Boss. So he really don't care what we as the fan says. But make no mistake, he is swayed by media more so than anything. That is just how this game goes. Because if you really want to go,
hold on, JB, you think the media will scold him if he made this decision wrong?
You got to let me finish my statement. Of course, they'll get on his ass. But the main thing that he has right now is the media is going to say, Justin Fields or Caleb Williams, you're hitching your career to either one of them. The problem that you're saying is neither one of them, if they lose, buys him more time.
They don't.
I say it's not just because of that. If you look in totality, Ryan Poles has hit defensively.
Yeah,
he has
and
hit
this team can't be led by the defense no fucking more.
He has to put more bonus and more focus on the offensive side of the ball. Period.
You know what we need to This we need to do. This what needs to happen. In the offseason, we need to acquire some offensive linemen. Through trades or whatever. I say we keep Justin. We draft a kid from Ohio State. And then we grab JJ McCarthy later on down the line. Now you got two guys.
I so vehemently disagree. I'm sorry.
You don't think so?
Why would you? First of all, McCarthy's going in round one.
Hold on.
This offensive line,
Mr. Turner, go ahead.
Let him finish.
Hold on. Nate, go ahead,
Mr. Turner. I want to hear what you have to say.
Listen, you bring in somebody that's going to push the kid too, because he hadn't been pushed at all. So he week in, week out, regardless of how you practice, regardless of what's going on, you get lazy. I've seen that before. When you got nobody pushing you, you get lazy. Mm-hmm. Bring in somebody that's going to push him. Somebody. I'm just saying. The reason I say JJ is because JJ's done nothing wrong, ever.
Question.
Ever. He's a leader. He's a good-looking kid. Right. He's done nothing wrong except
he's from the Chicagoland area.
All right, so let me ask you about JJ McCarthy real quick. First of all, most mock drafts that I've seen have him projected to go in the first round. So are you saying draft Marvin Harrison and then use the 9th pick on McCarthy and keep Fields?
If JJ falls, I'm not saying draft him in the top 10.
He's not getting past round 2, and if
it's a quarterback deep draft,
right?
All those guys are going in the top 20 picks.
Personally, for me,
exactly. So that's why I'm saying, I don't think that JJ will be available.
I feel like Jane Daniels is a better fit for the Bears than Caleb Williams is. I'm not here to indict or even talk bad about Caleb Williams. I think the kid does have talent, But the talent that we need to lead this team, I don't think he has that. But I think Jaden Daniels has more of that, of what we need, than Caleb Williams does. So if we're going that route with drafting a quarterback, I would much rather draft Jaden Daniels than draft Caleb Williams. Because, listen, think about this. All this comparison to Mahomes shit, Mahomes is in the stratosphere by his damn self. Stop comparing him to anyone. There's no one.
He a different animal.
No one. He different out here. Ain't nobody near that man. Stop telling me he got Mahomes like Tennessee. No, the fuck he does not. And now I'm going to be real about this. I watch college football. USC is overrated as hell. The Pac-12 is overrated as hell. They ain't playing no real competition out there. So you can't beat the
Are you calling Oregon and Washington weak?
Notre Dame is overrated as fuck too. They lost to Notre Dame, man. Notre Dame, what has Notre Dame actually won? Notre Dame gets all this damn media press for nothing. They go nowhere. They do nothing. And then they own goddamn independent division. Based on what? Really? Get y'all ass back in the Pac in the Big Ten and get y'all ass whooped like everybody else do. Now you bringing over USC and UCLA over to the Big Ten. They're not ready for this. They gonna get their ass blew out the water every damn Saturday. But you sit there and bring a West Coast team, two West Coast teams over to the Big Ten? No, y'all ain't built like this out here. No, y'all not ready for this. But
this is turning into a separate conversation.
Jaden Daniels, though, in the SEC, he saw real competition out there playing at LSU. And he had two solid-ass receivers that's coming out this damn draft, too. This draft class is going to be incredible when it comes to the receivers.
Easy.
I'm not even worried about that.
Easy. Put up what Tony Perkins said in the chat.
How far back? Oh, right here?
Yeah. This right here, I don't agree with. I agree that Mahomes hasn't done anything with the offense. But the defense is still suspect. That is not true.
The defense is nice. It's just the interior line.
The defense is not still suspect. The defense went from being last or next to last in the NFL to a top 10 defense. They went from being dead last in rushing to number one in rushing.
Number one against the
run.
That
right there sits up there says the defense ain't suspect, player. Yep. Your defense set up there. Your defense is a hell of a lot better.
The defense is said though, for real.
Yeah, with that said,
but it doesn't matter how good your defense is if you can't score points.
But with that said though, this ain't 19.
Do you ever listen, man? Yes,
I listen all the time. I listen. I don't think you understand how much I listen.
JB, listen to this though.
Listen to me. Hold on. Easy. If you have a rookie quarterback's best friend is a great defense and a good running game.
Yes.
If we have a great defense, guess what? Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl with a great defense. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with a great defense. Hell, the Chicago Bears won a Super Bowl.
We're talking. First of all, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl with a world-class defense. We're talking like
Trent Dilfer had
semantics, bro. Like he had like 6 straight games where he didn't score an offensive touchdown.
JB, you're wrong. That was Tony Banks starting during those 6 games. That's when Billick went with Dilfer.
Dilfer did the same thing. They did not have anything.
You know what? You say that easy, but I got one better for you. Patrick Mahomes just won a fucking championship with a fucking good defense.
17 points a game.
Okay, but did y'all not listen to what I said?
They were number 2 in points allowed behind the Baltimore Ravens. But here's my thing about that.
You still need to score points.
This ain't
you still need to score on offense. Your offense can't be zero. That's all I said.
Still has to lead the damn team. We ain't. I'm tired of the damn defense leading the fucking team now.
What did y'all think I said? Did y'all think I said defense doesn't matter? No, that's not what I said. That's not even.
It's been mediocre and suspect and inconsistent as fuck. We need this offense to be leading this team now.
But here's the thing, Chicago. I want Nate to answer this. I want Nate to answer this because Nate had the benefit of being on a prolific offense and a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
Why can't you have both, Nate? Why can't we just get both? Why can't
because like I said before, the Buffalo Bills, that wasn't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? It takes time, and we in this instant gratification era, man. And it takes time to build those guys. Remember Bruce Smith had some problems with dope. We were the bickering Bills, man. Yeah. We had issues, man, but it took time for us to develop into the team that we developed into.
Nate, real quick, I need to ask you this question about Ryan Post, mainly about him. So in his opening press conference when he first joined the Bears, he said, and I quote, we're going to take the North and never give it back. So far, we got a nice little small ass bedroom in the fucking basement of this goddamn division.
All right.
And
the way Jordan Love playing, you're not gonna get it back anytime soon.
See what I'm saying? So with him saying shit like that, making such strong declarations like that, he has to be held accountable for those. He had to be held to those very fucking standards and words, right?
So
with
you
that being
expect
the
this
case,
in 2 years?
hold on, I'm asking this. With that being the case, this is year 3 that he's been the GM. How many fucking years do we need to give him in order to actually figure it out? So if he's still figuring it out at year 3, so what have you actually done though that pushed us in the right direction to start making the playoff or being a playoff contending team? I ain't asking for a fucking Super Bowl right now. That's unrealistic. I am asking for us to make a playoff berth though.
Right.
So how long do we need? How long do we need to give him?
The Bears are an anemic team, bro. It's bad.
It is.
From top to bottom.
It's been bad though.
Look, from top to bottom. So we need to see as Bears fans, we need to see some type of some movement forward. And we have yet to see that. I mean, Justin was a move actually, and everybody was excited about the move forward, but it really wasn't a move forward. He was just running for his freaking life.
Again.
Right. He's running for his life. So what
times he was holding the ball too long too though.
Well, I mean, you're right. But by that time he was seeing ghosts because he got hit so many times.
But
yeah, that's true. He does see ghosts a lot.
Also, you have to hold. Listen, I'm just as I'm gonna give him credit and I'm gonna criticize him at the same time. There have been times Justin was holding the ball too fucking long, and I'm like, he's looking to try to make a grand slam or a home run every throw. And
that's why he got injured in the middle of the season and missed 4 games.
Take the base hit, man. Just get on base. That's all the fuck we need. And my philosophy is,
it's true. Do you want to watch the play? Watch the play. Go back to the October game against the Vikings. Watch his injury. He needed to get rid of that ball. It was 3rd and long. At least sling it downfield.
Again, he was trying to make a play based on what Getsy called. You cannot blame that on Justin.
If he'd had some tutelage, if he had
some goddamn coaching,
true. I'm not negating that, but I am saying, as a quarterback, your philosophy is to be, if it ain't, listen, you want to live to see another damn down, you got to throw that bitch out of bounds. Throw it out of bounds. Ain't nothing there. Stop trying to force that shit. You'll get yourself.
You also have, and let me say this. You also have to remember that this is a guy that wants to fucking win. All right. This is a guy that's been hold on. This has been a guy that's been a fucking winner his whole goddamn fucking career. So the thing is, and I tell you this too, Caleb Williams is a lot like that too, because these are guys that's been fucking winners their whole fucking career. So they feel and they've been blessed with the athletic ability and the intelligence to sit up there to keep things alive and to make fucking plays when they ain't supposed to make fucking plays. That's why a lot of times they do get hurt. That's why they do hold on to the ball.
But you got to take what the defense gives you, not what you want out of the damn defense. You got to take the safe. Sometimes the safe shit is the best thing to bet on. Stop looking for a home run every time you up to plate, man. I need him to get out of that mode. I got to win.
You got to look at the play design.
You
got to look at the play design. He was out. He looked right. He looked center. They came through the middle of the A gap. He rolled to his left, trying to still extend the play to Komet. Got hit, slid, hurt his wrist. He was still in the process of trying to make
it out of bounds. He had
how about you do something called like run a slant, call a play action.
The great
do something like that
in the league.
Well, JB, I'm pretty sure the Vikings kept on.
Hold on. Let Nate
go ahead.
Go ahead, Nate.
Play action don't work when you don't have a run game.
He is the run game.
We had one of the best run games in the league, though. By committee, we had one of the best run games in the league, though.
Because of Justin.
Right, exactly. It ain't because of Khalil Herbert.
It was Herbert. It was everybody in that run game.
No, son, come on. Let's have. Hey, I told y'all we're gonna have truth on this show.
Hey,
everybody contribute, baby. Don't do that now. Everybody,
we're gonna have truth on this show.
I said contribute. Everybody contributed to the run game.
The reason the Bears' run game is so overinflated is because one year Justin had damn near 1,300 yards. The next year, I want to say he had another 7-something. No quarterback in the league is projected to have that much rushing yard. In 2 years, the man nearly had 2,000 yards rushing. Come on, man, stop it.
Right.
Stop it.
JB,
That's what you want.
I'm not dismissing that, but I'm saying Herbert
Listen, the way
and David Montgomery and this year Foreman, these players did contribute to the run game too when Justin wasn't running. When they
Chicago,
were
they wasn't even giving Montgomery the ball. They were giving
problem though.
the ball to go.
That's
another problem. Because guess what the fuck Montgomery did in Detroit? His first goddamn year had an all-pro fucking season.
That's because they got a great offensive line too.
Thank you.
And they have a really good change of pace back.
They had a fucking
and they had a really good change of pace back in Joe Gibbs. Not Joe Gibbs. What's his name? What's Gibbs? Jameer Gibbs. Joe Gibbs. I don't know why my man went to Joe Gibbs.
$1,000 a piece.
Hey, Nate.
2 running backs.
Nate, let me ask you this. If Kenneth Davis had a season with 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, you'd be like, damn, Kenneth Davis did his thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of Kenneth Davis,
the year before last.
Speaking of Kenneth Davis, I think it's probably a good time to pay a bill.
A running back does.
You're right. It is.
Right.
It's a good time to pay a bill. While we're on the subject of...
Hold on, everybody. Hold on.
Thank you, JB. While we're on the subject of Kenneth Davis, I'm really curious to hear what he has to say about Moore's beer. I want to know if he has any opinions.
We gotta pay some bills. Let's go ahead and pay it.
Listen, shout out to my man Terrence from Chicago's Clubhouse podcast, from the Moore's Brewing Company here in Chicago, Illinois. All right, we got bros out here putting out this for the Moors. It's tasty. I didn't even have to come on here lying about this. All right, this tastes like what I like when I drink a beer. I don't drink a beer often because I'm too big and I need to stay off of carbonated drinks. But this is the carbonated drink you need to open up and crack and take a sip. All right, if you want to come out of the dark ages, be educated. All right, get you some of this Moore's brew right here. It's definitely tasty. You can get it in Kimbark and High Park.
Whoa. I thought we were a team. Where's mines? And when are we getting in Tempe, Arizona?
I guess we're going to have to find out, man. But everybody out there, for here in Chicago, go to Kimbark and pick you up some Moors.
Man, if I was a beer guy, I'd definitely drink a lot of Moors. That's for sure.
Yeah, same here. I'm not a beer guy.
Moore's beer. Hey, you can catch that in Chicago. We damn sure got it in some stores. I don't know because I don't fucking drink. So
hey, you blocked for that guy. That's
kind of
cool.
what it tastes like.
Who? That ain't my Kenneth Davis.
That's not the same Kenneth Davis, man.
That's not my Kenny Davis. No.
I'm very, very well aware. I'm very well aware. It's the same joke I make when I talk about how I have DJ Moore on my show every now and then.
I mean, he's
right.
You know, like that's the same idea.
We even let Foul skip over that. Foul don't drink?
Nah.
Really?
I never had a drink before a day in my life. No smoking, no drugs.
All damn near 20 years I've known this man, he ain't never took a drink.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
But testament to him, shout out. But again, my thing is back to where I say, Nate, they're not telling the full story of how this is going. You have a quarterback that missed 4 games and still almost rushed for 700 yards. I would expect a running back to do that, not a quarterback.
Well, he is the running back.
And that's a problem.
And it's not. And the thing is, a lot of those runs were passes where he's just playing jazz back there.
Yep.
Well, he dropped back and then take off because if you go man coverage, the quarterback's forgotten.
Right.
Well, most of the time
if you go man coverage,
if they had no spy on him, then yeah,
just like in high school, man, you have a kid drop back. If everybody's back is turned on defense, take off because you're unaccounted for.
Well, the good defense is no to spy, Justin. That's why the Packers always beat him.
They had a spy on him. He couldn't go no damn where. Then now it's like he
that ended up being that's the beauty of videotape. And his 1,300 yards was scrutinized that offseason, and they figured out, we got to spy this cat with a fast ass linebacker or somebody.
But tell me this, Nate. Let me ask you this: do you think it's easier for them to spy him because he doesn't have weapons offensively like that?
Well, yeah, definitely. Because you have to take, realistically, you got to take a pretty good guy to spy Justin Fields. It's not like you spying Jim Kelly. I mean, he run the 40. You could put a sundial on his 40. You know what I mean? Is but you gotta take a pretty good athlete. And, you could free him up. If there's no weapons outside, you can free up who you want to.
True.
You can free up who you want to.
And that's one of the reasons. Like, okay, so we've gone and been on the podcast for a while, and we've talked about what we think if we were GMs, what we would do. So I'm going to ask you, Nate Turner. You are the Chicago Bears GM. You have the number 1 pick this year. You also have the number 9 pick this year. What would you do? You have about $80 million in free agency. What would you do to sit up there to improve this team this year?
Offensive line first.
Are you drafting, or are you going to try
I think
to
through free agency? The thing about drafting is you don't know what you're getting. You have no idea what you're getting. At least when you go in free agency, you got an idea. You got a pretty good idea if a kid can play or not.
Yeah, you got a resume to go off.
Right, you got tape. You can look and be like, okay, he did this. Right, he could play in the NFC North. You know what I mean? Then I'd go ahead and I'd keep Justin. I'd go ahead.
So you trading the number 1?
No, I don't think so. I think I would go. I'd get that kid from Ohio State.
Okay, so you'll take the number 1 pick and you will go get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, I'd get him.
Now the only reason why I say that is because there's a chance that you can trade back either to 2 or number 3 and still get Marvin Harrison, because those teams are going to be thirsty to move up to get this so-called generational quarterback.
Now, with that foul, I have to ask this question, Nate. So to that point, as a GM, do you think that Ryan Poles, if he don't get a haul as great as he did last year, or even equivalent to that it's worth even trading? Because I know for me, if ain't nobody willing to give me 2 number 1s this year, next year, or 3 possibly for this 1 pick, then it ain't worth me trading. If I'm not going to get a whole lot of damn picks back, or even a few picks and a player like he did last year, if I'm not getting that, then it ain't worth trading. So that's why I think he needs to be wowed by the quarterback, and he needs to be wowed by the damn haul, the potential haul that somebody's willing to give him for this pick. Either way, and I do think he's going to make a decision based on that theory alone. If he gets a haul and he's satisfied with it, he's going to trade that damn pick. But if he's satisfied with how Caleb or Jaden Daniels, and I hope the fuck he ain't looking at Drake May, because he ain't. But if he's looking at one of those other 2 quarterbacks and he's wild by them, then he'll go with one of them. But
I don't think
he has to be wild.
All right, go ahead, Nate. What would you do?
Yeah.
The only kid that have you seen that Milton kid from Texas?
Joe Milton. He a Michigan kid first.
He was in Michigan first.
Tennessee.
He is Tennessee. He's an animal, man. So if you're gonna be wowed by anybody, that's who's gonna wow you.
Yeah, that motherfucker got a cannon out of this fucking
That's
world.
who's gonna wow you. But
Anthony Richardson of this draft.
I want to go that far. I doubt he's a top. I doubt he's a 1st-round pick.
No, he'll be
late. Anthony Richardson wasn't a 1st-round pick either until he wowed in the combine.
He's projected
Richardson, that kid in Indianapolis, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson was highly touted before the combine.
Right.
Right now,
Joe Milton, awesome combine.
He's a very athletic kid, man.
Joe Milton's projected to go to the 5th round. But go ahead, Nate. I want to hear what you want to do. So you've already decided that you're gonna go with Marvin Harrison at number 1. So what are you gonna do with the number 9 pick?
What is that haul like, Nate?
I would probably go defensive line to help my man out. What's the kid's name?
Sweat.
Kid.
Yeah, Sweat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can start trying to get some pressure on somebody. And then through the rest of the draft, man, just trying to fill those holes, man, get some people. The issue is like, I don't think they evaluate, their talent evaluation is off.
It's terrible.
They scout. I said
It's been
that.
terrible.
Yeah,
Who
it's
in the
off,
fuck
man.
hire these people, man?
Right.
How
I
is
know.
it that we know more about scouting these players than they do? And
Right.
they get paid to do this shit.
Like I said earlier, like all these people get all excited about their 4-2-1. That dude probably ain't never gonna play really. He's better than
No. Hold on. He is not a
better.
gimmick player.
He's better. He
He's
plays
talented.
well.
Not him.
No,
Yeah, he's
talented.
better.
Xavier
He's still a
Worthy, in my
4-2-1
opinion, is
kid.
the new Christian Watson, and Christian Watson had to learn how to play football.
Yeah.
I wouldn't make that comparison. I don't think that's fair. No, I wouldn't say he's
6'3", 6'4", plenty of speed, could only run 2 routes.
That ain't Xavier Worthy.
No, the hell
No, Worthy can run the tree. He can run the route tree.
Worthy can run the fucking tree. He ain't no 9 route motherfucker, and that's it.
Yeah.
Wait, who's that Texas player who said he doesn't?
Coach though would have him right though in the NFL. You know damn well that's the case. The right coaches
Who's
matter.
that player who said he doesn't believe in planets? I want that guy.
Oh Lord, have mercy! Right?
Yeah, I want that guy on my team. That's what I want. I want a guy who does not believe in outer space.
Oh, the only way I'd take him is if they legalize marijuana, because he gonna fuck everything. Because he must be smoking something.
Was that a Doomsday that said that?
No, it wasn't a Doomsday. It was Tyler Owens.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is he a tight end? Yeah.
I think he's a DB. He's a DB.
I'm gonna be real with you, dog. On some petty shit, when Justin, and I don't give a damn about him playing in Ohio, when Justin said that stupid shit about LeBron over Jordan, I was like, no, trade his ass right fucking now. I don't play that shit. We don't do that shit.
I figured that would ruffle some feathers.
Damn jersey? No. We don't do that up in here. You don't talk that stupid shit in Jordan's town. This is Jordan City. The fuck wrong with you?
I'm telling you, he wouldn't have said that.
Ohio. You lost your goddamn mind. Don't you ever say that stupid shit again out loud. You better even think it. This is Jordan City. They got them statue outside, not too damn far away from damn Soldier Field. You better know what the fuck statue that is. What's wrong with you? Don't you dare say nothing stupid like that. I don't give a damn about you playing no damn Ohio. Ain't shit in no damn Ohio no damn way. This Chicago, boy.
That's true.
Funny.
So
that wasn't
right now we've over the 2 hour mark. So this is usually when we start shutting it down. So we want to thank you, Nate, for coming on. We damn sure want to have you back on. We want to have you back on like probably a little bit after the draft. So therefore we exactly know what's going on, who the Bears have drafted, if they keep in Justin Fields, if they're trading Justin Fields, if they're drafting Caleb Williams, and so on and so forth. We would like to have you back.
Real quick, Nate, do you remember this? Do you remember this moment right here?
Season with the Patriots leading 3-0. Right, play action. Nate Turner, touchdown, Buffalo. They would score.
Oh,
that's your touchdown.
He ran the right. Listen, man. He dinged that man on that route, man. He put his hands up like he was Moss. He's like, hey, right here, Jim. And right there in the bread basket, man.
Now that was Frankie.
Shout out Chris Berman on the call.
Jim was hurt. That was Frankie.
That was Frank. Okay.
Oh, that Frank Wright.
That's Frank Wright.
Yeah.
Hey, so once again, Dave, we want to thank you for coming on. Matter of fact, go ahead and give us some give some shout outs. Shout out to whoever you want to.
Hey, where can we find you?
Yeah, and where can we find you at?
Man, you can find me on Facebook. I think I'm on Twitter. I think I'm on Instagram, man.
Okay,
you know what? Yeah, man.
You said Facebook first.
I got CTE, man. I can't remember all that shit. So
sound like you want to smoke some weed after this, huh?
Hey, maybe, or some mushrooms or something.
Medicinal, man.
Right. We'll be microdosing, trying to get right. But man, you know what, man? It's just man, shout out to Mount Carmel High School. Shout out to University of Nebraska. You know, Coach Osborne just had a birthday not too long ago. He old as hell, man.
Yeah,
hate to lose him, man. Shout out to all the coaches that I've coached with and learned under, because that's what, that's the thing of this game that people don't really realize. This it teaches you how to be a man. You know what I mean? And you get knocked down, you get back up, you keep fighting till the clock says 0-0-0. You know what I mean? You never lose games. You run out of time. It's just stuff that you learn that you incorporate into your regular life, and you'll be a good man because of it.
Yeah. And Nate, would you say that coaching matters more in football than it does in basketball or any other sport?
Absolutely.
I think so. The thing is that when you get to the professional level, it's not a lot of coaching. It's more of a guidance. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say coaching. I'd say grooming.
That's a good word.
It's more of a grooming situation because, trust me, everybody in the league can play. It's the reason you're there.
Yep.
Even on the Bears offensive line, they can play. It's just
he said he's taking shots.
No, I'm just saying those are facts, man.
I love that though. Yeah.
Justin was on his back a lot, man. And you gotta for the past couple of years. And I think it's gonna take the right tutelage to get things right, man. And somebody who makes good decisions. A good coach that makes good, or at least a coach that's got balls enough to just make the decision and be like, fuck y'all. Like my man in Detroit, he don't give a shit.
Dan Campbell don't give a damn.
He don't give a shit. He said, it's 4th down.
We poked fun at him for a little while before he started
tell the kicker to sit your ass down.
Yep.
We going for this.
He bought into that crazy shit he was saying early on.
Exactly.
I'll be the first one to tell you I laughed at him, but motherfuckers bought into that shit. And
you talking about fighting kneecaps?
If you do the analytics on that bullshit, it's a high school coach. I forget where he's at. This fucker, he goes for 2 every time, and he onside kicks every onside kick. Damn. And they be kicking people ass, man.
Those are 2 real uncertain plays to go for.
They onside kick every kick, and he goes for 2, and the analytics is correct. And that's what, and a lot of these cats trust these analytics way too much. You know what I mean?
I don't like analytics. I'm not a fan.
Listen, the eyeball
you do sometimes, JB. Sometimes you like them.
No, I don't like them at all. I'm an eye test guy.
I'm not. Listen, I'm an analyst by profession. I don't want to keep doing that shit. I know what the fuck my eyes show me. I know what I'm looking at. When it comes to talent, I know who can play and who can't, just based on what I'm looking at.
You know what my eyes tell me? You got Blasingame and you got David Montgomery on the 1 yard line. Get that ball, man, the ball. You know what my eyes tell me? Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl, he getting the ball 4 straight times. Damn some analytics.
100%.
Blasingame. What's it good to have a damn fullback? You ain't gonna fucking use him, man. Come on, man.
I still think that the decision the Seahawks made to throw it was politics over analytics.
Absolutely.
It was dumb. Whatever it was.
Correct.
It cost that man a Super Bowl.
It was stupid.
Look, everybody on earth knew they was about to run the ball.
Yep. I would lost big money even.
But that's the beauty of football is that you can't stop it sometimes.
Right.
Like what they're doing, you still can't stop it.
Marshawn would have been carrying motherfuckers in that end zone with him. He would have been carrying at least about 2-3 people in the end zone with him.
Hey, again, analytic. Think about just real quick, Nick, because I know you got to go, but just think about this. Dan Campbell's inability to kick 3 field goals cost him the Super Bowl.
Cost them a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
No, they would have went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they
went
would have won, but they would have went. Yeah.
I didn't say win. I said cost them a chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sometimes
sure. That's what you said. All right. Yeah.
Damn them analytics. Damn that game.
Listen, you gotta risk it to get the biscuit. Goddamn it.
Play football.
You got to.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you want to shout out, Nate?
Nah, man, I'm good. I just appreciate y'all guys having me on. And
hey, man, we're going to have you back on, so be ready, man. We're going to have you back on, probably after the, like I said,
I think you should have your own segment, Nate, called Nate's Run or something like that. You need that. I'm feeling the vibe with you, brother. For real.
All right. All right, we'll talk about it. About it.
All right.
For sure. Well, we'd like to thank you for coming on, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
It was a pleasure.
Nate.
Thank you for giving us your insight and everything, man. You had us laughing too. So.
Right. All right, cool. One love, brothers. I appreciate y'all.
All right.
Thank you,
brother.
Easy, man.
Yes, sir. That was Mr. Nate Turner, former Buffalo Bills, former Mount Carmel Caravan, former Nebraskan Huh?
Yeah.
And he played for the Panthers 1 year.
And for the Carolina Panthers.
I think he played for them in their first season.
Inception, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's why I brought up the Panthers, because he can relate.
Right.
You're all older than the Panthers, but I'm not older than the Panthers.
Damn, I almost forgot about that. I'm glad you reminded me.
Shit, let's get
older than the Panthers.
Shit, we
Yes,
2 hours and 10 minutes in, so let's go ahead and get into some shout outs. Go ahead, Mr. Chicago. You kick it off.
Well, as usual, man, thank y'all for having me on. Shout out to y'all.
Oh shit, easy.
Everybody's doing this. Everybody doing everything in the space, and definitely contributing to the content that we're putting out there. Definitely looking forward to the upcoming weeks, the combine, pro day. Looking to see what more moves we make. Again, man. And again, I'm like I said, I'm pro Paul's getting this right. I want him to succeed as a GM, man, because we haven't had this opportunity to really set ourselves up for the future and become a playoff contending team for years to come. So this is going to be catastrophic that he get this shit right, man. And I'm not. My thing is, he would deserve to get fired if he don't get it right, because this is going to set us back, and now we're going to be right back to the drawing board, having to do this shit all over again if we don't get it right. If we don't get it right this time, so I just hope that the people that's in that room with him, Ian Cunningham and the rest of those guys, they're in there helping them make the best fucking decisions that they know they can make to help propel this fucking team to become the damn Bears football team that we know they can be and capable of being. So. Again, I hope they get this shit together, and I hope they get it right. And yeah, man, Chicago against the world above all else, man. Much I
Chicago,
love Justin.
I got a question for you real quick. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah.
What are you hearing in Atlanta? Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields? Go.
I've been hearing a lot of Justin from here. They even showed a damn video of him on Instagram celebrating the potential possibility of him getting traded here, possibly. So they've been talking nothing but Justin down here. And it's been Falcon fans talking shit to me now, wanting Justin after they didn't want him at first. Now these motherfuckers want him now. So listen, the amount of talent they got on that damn offense, shit. I would want to play them if Justin on that damn team would be John Robinson, Kyle Pitts, and Drake London, and him too, and Cordell Patterson still over here, and Tyler Algier. Now their running back by committee is fucking phenomenal. You add Justin to the fold, that shit would be unstoppable. So I don't want to see that. But again, I'm rooting for him, whether he with us or whether he with someone else. Hope the best for the kid, because I know he has the talent and intangibles to really be a premier quarterback in this league. But I hope we would keep him and build around him. But I just can't be emotionally tied to no players anymore, because this is a business and you make moves, man. It's unfortunate, but this is the way it is, and we got to adapt to that adaptability. We have to adapt to that, the whole notion that these players they ain't staying around forever. We may lose Jalen if you don't get no goddamn deal done by a certain time. So, hey, it's still Bears football. No matter
we ain't even talk about that today, about the franchise tag being put on.
Yeah,
we'll push that to next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that shit next week, because
him and Ryan Bates. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, go ahead, Easy.
Shout out to all y'all. Let me on the show. It's always fun to talk and listen to you guys. I do listen, by the way. I do. Just letting you know. Shout out to everyone.
I don't know. Sometimes you be hearing, Jimmy. I don't know if you be listening.
I'm sorry. Did the middle of my sentence get in the way of the beginning of yours?
Of course. Always.
I knew it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Always a pleasure to chop it up with you guys, but JB will go through all that. Shout out to everyone in the chat, including Botrix, even though I still don't quite understand what you are, but I will. Oh, I will. And of course, shout out my dad, mainly in the chat, because he gave birth to me. No, that's not right. But I'm related to him by blood, so that's cool. Shout out to the Bears.
Put you in there. That's what it was.
That's the term. That's the term. Shout out to the Bears. Hopefully, we're good this year. No matter what they end up doing. Shout out to the Cubs and the White Sox. I guess baseball season right around the corner.
White Sox.
Yeah. Hopefully the White Sox surprise and actually do a good job. I do think the Cubs will be pretty good, so that's exciting. And I can't think of anything else to shout out as of right now. So I'm going to play the music, and hopefully when I play it, it doesn't mute whoever's talking.
Or
So,
you just don't need to play it because we rolling.
all right. Well, I'm gonna play it and we'll see. I'll be able to tell after 1 second.
JB.
Okay.
It's working.
Yeah. Okay. We're good.
Okay. Good job. Way to go with your gut, Easy, and not do the analytical thing.
Exactly.
Shit, Grogu.
The eyeball test.
Hey, Grogu was like,
or the ear test.
The ear test.
Ear test.
As usual, shout out to you guys. It was a really fun show. Actually, 2 hours went really, really quick. Shout out to Nate Turner. Hey, for those that don't know, Nate Turner may not have been the flashiest of guys, but he did his job. Got a couple of good years in the league. And as you see, there's a great, great, great person to have on. Speak about the past, present, and the future of football. Thank you. We will be seeing more of Nate Turner, right? Now we got to jump into my violin. I got to shout out what we do here on this show. We shout out every single person that took the time to deal with our foolishness. First up, Z-Force. Brandon Moss. I believe Brandon is new. If not, Brandon, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate it. Steve Brokima. If I'm not saying that wrong, I apologize. Ramon Acevedo, I know who that is, but he goes by another name, Crazy Ace. Thank you for chiming in. Jeanette Johnson, thank you for chiming in. My guy Quill from the Hoop Scene, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate the love. Tony Perkins as well. It's some guys on here, y'all. Hey, they was on fire. Tony, Steve, and Brandon. They had some great content. They're really engaging. They understood the assignment. Randy B. Our resident Big Ten ref, Lorenzo Clemens, was chiming in from down in New Orleans. Always love to see you. As you said affectionately, Bot Ricks. We're going to find out who Bot Ricks is. I think Bot Ricks is the person.
We'll learn soon enough.
I think he gets our content out. So thank you to Bot Ricks for always chiming in on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Of course, we have Crooked Mish chiming in as usual, our fantasy football guru on the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. I want to shout out to my man Rob Z. That's your dad. We're going to call him Rob Z, not Rob Zombie. Just Rob Z. I got to clarify. I don't want to get fined. So, shout out to Rob Z. You know what I'm saying? Hey, one of my main men, one of my brothers from another, Bullets, all the way from L.A. Cali Love, chiming in, West Side. Love Bullets. Thank you for chiming in. Hey, special shout out. We haven't seen this young lady in a long time. Amber Edinger and the Edinger family, wife to Paul Edinger and that great family out there. They're down. Love y'all. Hope y'all doing well in Florida. Good to see you, fam. Always pleasure to see you chiming in, Amber. I think we're winding down, fellas. That's about it. We have some late ones chime in, right? Yes. Hey, Mike Tackett. Thank you, Mike Tackett, brand new. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate it. Sal R. Ramirez, I think that is. Thank you for chiming in. We appreciate the love. Hey, you know this guy, Sal. Akeem Hunter, Big Ten.
Right.
Guys, running back and safety for Northwestern. Thank you for chiming in. Samuel Blackwell, affectionately known as Black Sam, one of our contributors on the podcast. On the homepage. Thank you for chiming in. Also, Mike Strickler, brand new, but towards the end of the show, hey, Mike was on some good stuff. Mike was dropping them gems, letting us know what was going on. Also, we want to shout out SB. Shout out to T Nick, wherever he is, getting ready to go do his thing. You know, the boss always taking days off. And then shout out to my last shout out, my most important shout out. Shout out to my mom's, most affectionately known as Miss Sandra, the Clubhouse podcast mom. If we know we only got one person checking in, we know she checking in. Love, peace, no bears. That's all I got.
That's right. So now my shout outs. First of all, I want to shout out to Nate Dogg, Nate Turner, for coming on. Thank you. We appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back for the next after the draft. After the draft, we'll have Nate back. Great insight, gave us, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of the other people that we have on that played in the NFL and in sports, about the locker rooms and about teams, management, you know what I'm saying, the camaraderie there. I want to give a shout out to you brothers, Mr. Chicago, Easy, JB, Frank the Tank. Yeah, hopefully when he come on next week, that motherfucker ain't got no black eye because he's fighting in this hockey shit and he got all his teeth. Hope he got a good fucking dental plan.
hey, what you say, pal? If he don't come on, we know something happened.
Yeah, we know he gonna fuck around and say something to the wrong motherfucker. Shout out to my co-homie here, my boy Grogu. Shout out to him. Remember, you can catch him on Disney Plus app.
Season 4.
Any fucking day, right? Season 4, The Mandalorian coming out. We already got 3 of them bitches out now. Season 4 will be coming out soon. Also, want to shout out to the kiddies. Shout out to the baby girl. She's right here to the right of me, to the left of you guys over here talking about shout out to me. Shout out to Hayden Bug. Shout out to her. I want to give a shout out to T-Nick, who's not here. Took a day off and shit, talking about he was on the plane. Motherfucker. But yeah, they took a day off. Shout out to him. Oh, also want to give a shout out to our sponsors in the zone. Moore's Beer, Hugh. Hey, new restaurant out. Good Time Sports Bar Signature, owned by our homie, friend of the show, Israel Donashay. Check that out on 13th Wabash. If you come into Chicago, check out Signature. Check out Hugh over there on Cermak between Michigan and State, some shit like that.
Michigan and Wabash,
yeah. Some shit. I be getting fucking confused shit. Also want to give a shout out to Easy's dog back there, because you know,
Luna.
Him and Grogu were having a little moment right there and shit. You know?
Yes, they are.
Want to give a shout out to who else? I already gave your ass a shout out. Goddamn kid, go to bed. It's time. It's time for the kiddies to go to bed.
He said shout out to Devin Hester.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
shout
sir.
out to Devin Hester. Shout out to Mongo, baby.
Oh, man.
The light is not on, Mr. Chicago. I'm upset with you.
My bad. Hold on.
Yeah, you better get it right. What'd you say, Fal? Devin, Julius, and Mongo.
Shout out to all former Chicago Bears. Congratulations, fellas, on the motherfucking Hall of Fame. Once again, let you know that the Charter franchise has more players in the Hall of Fame than any fucking goddamn fucking NFL.
I usually don't carry on during the off season, but I mean, this is a special occasion, man. That's the fucking GOAT right there, man. Ain't nobody gonna ever top them damn numbers he put up back there.
Should have been a first ballot. Him and Mongo. Julius is a first ballot. Him and Mongo should have been fucking first ballot guys.
Absolutely.
Next up is Peanut Tillman and Lance Briggs, goddammit. Get them in the damn hall, man. Get their gold jackets ready, goddammit.
Hey, we got to get Lance back on the show, y'all.
Yeah, we got to get Lance back on the show. We got to get him back on the show.
Yeah, find a way to get my boy on the show, man.
He down there with you.
Yeah, also want to give a shout out to the chat. The chat was lit tonight. Thank you all. Remember to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse podcast. Also want to give a shout out to Plunk. I know baseball season is coming on. I know you guys are going to be in there, so check out Plunk. That's on the Chicago Clubhouse Network. Give a shout out to Easy. Easy's going to have Easy Does It on Fridays or Thursdays, whichever day you fucking choose. Just make sure
I would choose Thursday if I could.
Bull Spit.
But it's going to be Friday.
Hey, we got Bull Spit also. And she said what she said, damn it. Coming tomorrow. Sherry's back. Check all that shit out on the Chicago Clubhouse Network, baby. This is what we fucking do. Give a shout out to my fiance. Love her. Beautiful ass. I'm looking at a picture now of her, and I'm just amazed because I'm in love.
What up, classmate?
Anyway,
what up, classmate?
Right, exactly. Mr. Chicago's classmate.
Yes, sir.
Outside of that, I want to give one final shout out to the Chicago Bears. Bear down, baby. Hey, whether it's Justin, whether it's Caleb, we still rocking with the Bears no matter what. All right. We're not Caleb haters. We just think that the Bears should keep
except Frank. Frank is a bona fide hater, but yes.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
I'm a bear.
So check this out. So for Mr. Chicago, for JB, for Easy, for fucking Frank the Tank, for T Nick, and for everybody that's a part of the Chicago Clubhouse podcast and network, we like to say thank you. Remember to like and subscribe to us. And guess what? Oh, and for my man Grogu and Frank Easy's dog, we out.
Chicago gets the
You're still here. It's over. Go home.
This has been a